Let's see. Live chat. Maintains. What is going on here? I wonder what's causing it so much stress. Like what? It just doesn't even make sense. Yo, facts. If you can hear this, Fresh Maker, you're spitting facts. I'm trying to get going here. I'm trying to get going here. Oh, okay. Everything started working at once. Holy shit. Yeah, I'm literally about to go buy a new router, a new internet, everything right after this. This is mad annoying. Thank you for being here. Ryan Sugg, Fresh Maker. We're going to retweet out the stream. Get back out of here. But damn, look at this. Oh my God. Like, this is like surreal right now. Like, I feel like we all knew this would come. Or if you believe in GameStop, you believe this day would come. Or profitability, these things would be on the horizon. But just seeing it right before our eyes. Of course, anything could happen tomorrow. Anything could happen in the next couple quarters. It's still about the long term. Don't get me wrong, but I got the earnings goggles on. So here we are. We are rolling. And the stock price, damn, I got to retweet this out. Crazy. Actually crazy. Because the I hold bolters have been proven so wrong. Or, oh, GME is not even profitable, like all the haters. They are now. They simply are. And evidently, the company's continuing to move in the right direction. If you look at what they've done since 2021, if you saw my preview video today, you would have seen that I was talking about 2021 versus 2022 being my overall focus. And if you look at full year 2021 next to full year 2022, the company is evidently operating more efficiently. And I think that's really exciting because it's putting their money where their mouth is. Actions are speaking louder than words. Matt Furlong even said on the call something along the lines of, we're not going to put out guidance. We're going to continue to maintain our stance of watch me. That's not exactly what he said, but that's what GameStop's basically saying by not putting out guidance, in my opinion. They're saying, screw all that. We don't have to predict anything or tell you anything like that. We're just going to say, we're just going to go. We're just going to do our thing. Watch. Just read the reports, read the numbers, look at what we're doing. It'll all speak for itself. And I just think that's super awesome because what company does that? What company has that kind of swag? They're changing the game, in my opinion, in terms of what it means between the connection of shareholders, individual shareholders, and companies reporting earnings to board of directors because they themselves are shareholders. So they're like, all right, everyone's just going to see the results. And that's just kind of the way they've been rolling, which is just crazy. Tetrad fuck beast, we are golden. Fresh Maker, thank you for being here, being part of this journey with me. This is awesome. Ryan Song, how jacked are you, Noah? Fucking jacked, bro. I am jacked, honestly. Oh, damn, it keeps going up. Silly ape, you know what's up. It's going up. That's right. But yeah, it's funny. A lot of people started, like, because I left the office today to do the second half at home because it was such a busy day. And I was saying it before, but it wasn't recording. It's always busy for me around earnings time for some reason with work. And it just like works out to be those few random days like the day before, the day of. So today I'm like, all right, I'll try to get everything done in the morning. It was mad busy. But I'm like, okay, I do the last little bit at home because I'm hybrid between office and at home. So like I got to do the last little bit at home because I got to hop right into earnings and everything happening. And I was listening to Morantz's stream as I was finishing up the day. And anytime a call came in, I had to pause it and go forwards and just catch up with the call. But damn, so much happening right now. And this number right here, I think I was starting to say it before for those of you that were here before everything crapped out. Net income was 48.2 million versus a loss of 147.5 million in the previous quarter. That's crazy. And hold on, I got to get this tweeted out real quick. Just realized I forgot to do that. Such a big difference. And just evidently, the company is doing what they're saying and turning around. Okay. FOMO tomorrow. Fresh Maker, maybe. XBit, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Yeah, honestly, it's very, very, it's a very, very good question of what is going to unfold tomorrow. Will there be FOMO? Maybe. I mean, at the end of the day, I think the best part about being a long-term investor is you don't have to worry about FOMO. If FOMO comes into your stock, you're like, shit, I've already been here. I'm not going to get caught up in that. I'm just going to stick to what I know. And what we know is GameStop is a profitable company. And a lot of time has passed. And a lot of people, start to have doubts, of course. I mean, I felt good because I really feel like I was just constantly, every time I doubted anything, I just read the information again. I just look at what the company's doing. I read their earnings reports. And that just honestly gave me confidence because if you know what's going on, you don't have to stress about whatever the stock price is doing, whatever noise is out there, whatever people are saying, because what the company says is what it is, and what the numbers say is what they are. Like, numbers don't lie. But damn, all right, gotta add this link there. Internet being annoying. And at some point, I am going to actually have to help move a new washer and dryer in here. So hopefully that's not too soon so I can keep rocking and rolling with the stream. But had to get an earnings stream going today. Absolutely had to. But here we go. Let's see. What a time to beat earnings. Well, all banks are in turmoil. It's true, Ryan Sung. It's true. And while a lot of companies are, okay, Amazon, Meta, what are they all doing? Laying off employees. And yes, you can see right here on my screen that GameStop did lay off some employees as part of their cost-cutting initiatives. But they're cutting off massive amounts of employees because they see what's coming. They see the writing on the wall. But GameStop evidently is doing better than the average company now, in my opinion here. Does GME usually go down within the months after earnings, regardless of how well they did? Is because of tactics to hedge funds that are under? Movier, it's a good question. Time will tell. I feel like earnings, it's not very consistent. It's always dramatic, and it tends to move one way, kind of bleed one way. It could bleed up, and then it could bleed down. But what I really feel like is different here is the fundamentals that the company is profitable, and they're cutting costs still. They talked about on the earnings call they're going to continue to do that. They have more cash than the previous quarter. Free cash flow is positive. Net income was positive because the expected EPS was negative 13 cents, and it came in at like 16 cents, right? Do we have that here on the cover? No, not in this part of it, but let's see right down here. And then we can go through all the, whoa. Earning per share, EPS. Okay, whatever. But point is, I'm not really that concerned. That algorithm could do whatever. The shares can trade, however. I'm more so just excited about the numbers here. Lower selling and general administrative costs. Lower inventory, yes, but I think that was them getting ahead of inflation, and there was also, supply chain issues, so they're trying to stay ahead of that. But now they have the cash, so they made money from it. So maybe they may be down in inventory, but now they have more cash. So they're churning their product, and they've even talked about as well on their earnings call, if you caught it, they said somewhere in there, I think it was Matt Furlong who said it, that they'll continue to streamline their operations. And closing the Kentucky distribution center, they've adjusted, overall their technology. Because if you see right here, establish an equity incentive. Sorry, this isn't the same point, but I'll read this anyway because it's important. Establish an equity incentive program for store leaders and tenured associates to increase their compensation and strengthen a line of interest with fellow stockholders. Because people running the company are then stockholders themselves if they're being compensated in shares, especially those towards the top. They can really build culture in that way. That's something Rants was saying on his stream, and it's facts because I've worked in retail, I worked at Marshalls, and that culture isn't there. It's push to managers. Like, yeah, you're going to get paid as a manager, but you're paying the employees minimum, and it's just hard. Like, I didn't feel like motivated. Marshalls didn't do anything for me. They weren't giving me stock, and like it was nothing like that. You can be more motivated if you see the mission behind the company. And of course, there's always going to be regular retail employees that aren't going to be the most cheerful always. But generally, you can shift in culture because if you work retail and you like your boss, generally, you're going to be nicer to the customers, better to the business if you respect your boss. And if you're getting compensated in shares, it's a lot easier to respect your job if you see the value being provided on those shares over time as well. So really, I think everything is very, very nicely coming together. And I really feel like G-America is coming this quarter. That's my theory here. But what I was going to say before I went on that little tangent is the company completed a majority of implementations and upgrades related to the company's infrastructure, systems, shipping capabilities, online and mobile platforms. And why I think that's really exciting is that's somewhat of the streamlining of inventory and just overall increasing efficiency of operations. Because I think a lot of people don't realize GameStop was infiltrated in behind, allegedly infiltrated with some people who didn't want the company to succeed. You know, maybe that's why they had a private jet for the board of directors. They told the old management a long, long time ago, was like, don't sell the Wii in like the biggest year, the hottest, when the Wii was super hot when it first came out. I'm talking a long time ago. But bad decisions were just made from the inside. So one bad decision, right? Operationally, for example, the company, if they don't ever update their registers, they update their system for just managing inventory and keeping track of what sells where, what sells more online, what sells more in this particular region, all these different things. What makes what would have a higher margin in terms of, you know, where we're shipping it from, whatever. All these different analytics they can now analyze. I don't really think that was there before, considering old management just simply didn't care, or that's what it seems like, right? I mean, that's my personal opinion. You can disagree, but small things like that, like the infrastructure being improved, systems, you know, better shipping capabilities, adjusting those things a little bit over time, especially as they get more data, I really feel like that's important and something that's going to kind of drive them forwards. But hey, that's just what I think, and I think that's part of why they can operate more efficiently, right? For example, with less selling general administrative costs, and overall costs are just being cut, and on the earnings call, they'll say they'll continue to be cut. And it's just exciting because it's brick by brick, and we can look at all the numbers here. Cheers, guys. Take a shot. I might have to later, Freshmaker. I might have to. It's party time. In Germany, we say Prost. Cheers. Thank you for correcting me on the number of stores in Germany, Fresh. Oh, yeah. MOAS imminent. Hey, no problem. Sitting at the source and have a small advantage. Makes sense, Freshmaker, but that's awesome. Thank you for tuning in. Tomorrow should be good. Young Finest? I think so. I honestly think so. It should be a spicy day. I think it'll be volatile. I absolutely think it'll be volatile. XBit, got that smirk. He knows what's up. Profitable, G-America, thank you for being here. That's a fact. Extremely profitable, extremely exciting. Even EPS is positive. Look at that, 16 cents per share versus 49 cents of the same quarter last year. Remarkable. Cost of goods sold, slightly down. I mean, revenue's down as well. But I think this right here, cost of goods sold, that number comes down. I mean, yes, top line net sales slightly down year over year, but generally very close in the same, right? If you're looking at these two numbers. But looking at cost of goods sold, there's a pretty good chunk of difference there. Not, again, nothing major, but I think that's a matter of, or a factor of rather, or some factors going into that are this bullet point right here. Completed majority of implementations and upgrades related to the company's infrastructure, system shaping capabilities, online and mobile platforms. Just operating more efficiently and just making better business related decisions, you know, that allows them to lower selling and general, I'm sorry, costs of sales because they're operating more efficiently and those are their variable costs. And I apologize in my video. Thank you. I forgot who said it, but somebody actually DM'd me and was like, hey, just so you know, you tripped up in your video. You could always definitely let me know if I like incorrect about something because I always want to learn and definitely go back and correct, you know, if I make any kind of mistake. I basically said like selling in general administrative costs were fixed costs, but those are the variables. See here, again, way lower, cost cutting. Operationally, boom. Right? Wait, or did I just inverse what I just said right there? Costs or variable costs? Just to confirm, just for the record. Let's see, Matthew Furlong has also confirmed that Australia and Switzerland no longer have GameStop shops. $27 nice. That's great. Oliver's Papa, thank you for being here. Can be divided. Let's see, direct and indirect. I'm just always curious what different sources say. Day-to-day operating costs. Yep, the staff. does not include the direct costs of producing the goods or acquiring the goods for sale. Ah, okay, so that's reported separately as cost of goods sold. Research and development. Okay, gotcha. It all makes sense now. But yeah, that's how you get this bottom line net income here. And where was it? Marantz was showing it on his stream. And Oliver's, I saw you on there. That was an awesome rant about AMC. I'm going to subscribe to you. You guys got to check out Oliver's Papa. Definitely check out his channel. I'm sorry, I didn't even realize you had a channel going, but shout out to you. I might have been thinking about Switzerland. Let's go. Dividend yet? Theron? Not yet. It could be on the horizon. That's definitely possible. According to Mr. Marantz, we need 3 more profitable quarters, and it's S&P time. Looking fresh, Tetron. Thank you, Donko. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I think so, because you need 4 consistent profitable quarters. Let's look up the what exactly you need. I forget off the top of my head. I know you need 4 consistent net positive quarters. That's definitely one of the things. I think at least a 10 billion market cap. Entry requirements. Let's see. Thank you all for being here. Appreciate everybody. It's a great day. It's a great day to be a GameStop investor. Let's see the number right now. Is this up to date? No. We got to refresh this. Let's see. What do we got? Okay, 50% still. 50% still. Damn. Let's see what the silly headlines are. GameStop stock pops following earnings beat. Q4 sales growth. Shares surge after a post surprise profit. Surges after affording first profit in 2 years. Soaring on surprise profit. The short squeeze begins. Yeah, sure. I just like the stock. I think this is fundamentals, but hey, that's just me. But if you're shorting the stock or against the stock in any way, it's a tough position to be in right now, let's be honest, because evidently the company continues to move in the right direction. It seems like they're going to keep cutting costs, but do you need to get added into S&P 500? Need. Oh my god, that was not English. Get into. Okay, let's see. Float adjusted market capitalization. Okay, at least 12.7 billion. So that's with today's number, approximately, right? So 5.5, about 50% up. So that's like what? 8.2 maybe at this price. So I mean, it doesn't have to go that much higher, because if it needs to get to that number, it kind of need to double from here. So it's 1836, 3637 would kind of put them at the necessary market cap, it seems like. Okay, market cap of a certain size. A value of its market capitalization trade annually. At least 250,000 of its shares trade in each of the previous 6 months. I wonder, yeah, I mean, there's still large amount of shares trading hands. And I mean, I think it's kind of the same shares, but that's just my opinion because of Seed & Co. But hey, that's just what I think. Most of its shares are in the public's hands. DRS is a great evidence of that. Had its initial public offering at least 1 year earlier, way earlier than that. Have a positive sum of the previous 4 quarters of earnings as well as the most recent quarter. Okay, so I guess theoretically, even if just the next couple quarters are profitable, they wouldn't even need a full 4 quarters of profitability. According to this, at least, it says a positive sum. Nope. What else we got here? Key takeaways. Okay, not that much info there, but also have to see, is there any update yet? Let's go. Everyone's here. All the homies. We love to see it. Oh, it's just like crazy. If that one should be like printed on my shirt. It's just crazy. I always say like, wow, it's just really crazy. You know, like that's always my I guess my default words. I don't even know, but what a ride this has been. Like live streaming is so fun. Like you guys don't even realize I'm in my room. I'm always on the go. I'm at such an interesting point in my life. Like I'm not trying to be dramatic, but I'm on the go a lot lately. And I work from home sometimes. I work in the office, but I'm on the go in the other sense, like grandparents, girlfriend, family, all kinds of things. So It's hard because I really got to get my desktop and then I got to get it set up somewhere. Because even if I got it at my house home, it wouldn't really be good for streaming because I'm still with my parents right now, so I can't really have it in the basement because it doesn't have the electricity, the setup, whatever for it. So there's no real spot for me to like sit down. It's always kind of move with the laptop, but Surface laptop ain't cutting it. See, look, this ain't even refreshing right here. GameStop. We'll go back on the original page, or we might have to open a new tab. Oh my goodness, voice crack. We have to open a new tab, but overall, I'm just rocking and rolling with the Surface laptop that I still have from college, but I'm really gonna upgrade the setup soon. All of you being here helped that because whatever I make, I got 1,000 subs, I'm monetized, but don't think I'm rolling in the bread out here or anything like that. And I'm not. Don't even like super chat me or whatever. Like I like Marantz's mentality because I'm just building Tetron, and it's just about the journey and documenting. And let's get this working here. GameStop, Mr. Can we get this guy? I want the, what's it called? Annual filings. The 10K. No, I want the, not the 8K. What's it called? Oh yeah, so 10Q. I guess it would be the 10K, or I don't know if it's also a 10Q, but basically it'd be like the full detailed report. That's just not quite out yet. Still waiting for DRS numbers on 10Q. Yes, Ryan Sung just said it. Thank you. It is the 10Q. I thought maybe I was like, oh, is it 10K because it's yearly? But that's different. Too many letters and numbers and get mixed up sometimes. But yeah, see, this is their full report. And if you look at last year, around this time. Oh, it is 10K of the year. It's an annual. Okay, yeah, annual filing. There we go. Okay, I was kind of right. So yeah, see, this one's a little bit longer, 80 pages. So that should come out. Does it say what time that came out last time? Do GameStop. No, we'll just wait. We'll just keep refreshing this because what's the point of looking at exactly what time it came out last year? Maybe it'll come out that time again. But really, thank you all for being here. It's a great time. Are we leaning towards it holding uptrend for weeks to come, or should I sell my 18.5 421 options tomorrow? I got the beginning of March. Jose, that's up to you. Honestly, options, I don't really have too much to say on them. I just buy and hold GameStop right now personally. But I would definitely say, evaluate your risk in terms of where you're at. How much have you been playing options? I would definitely factor that in. How well or not so well has it been going? And I personally feel like, it's just my opinion, if you have a big win, sometimes you got to take it on a shorter term trade because it is a shorter term trade. But hey, that's just me. Or, maybe you could always sell some, hang on to the rest. I feel like that's never a bad idea, if you're kind of have a larger position or a position that grows very large, things like that. But for me, in terms of GameStop, I just hold shares because I really see the shareholder value down the line, and I really think the company could potentially deliver dividends. And just buying back stock and things that'll just make me appreciate my asset appreciate in value. But I do wish you the best of luck on those, Jose. And honestly, this is a huge moment for the company, in my opinion. So it could work out very well for you, one way or another. The GameStop store, shopping right now. Dude, Ryan Sung, this is the man, the homie. He's literally shopping at GameStop and listening to a guy talking about GameStop in a GameStop sweatshirt. The only thing I don't have GameStop, I wish I had GameStop goggles and a GameStop hat. Need some more merch, but I mean, I would look corny if it said like GameStop right here. I don't know if that's the style, but you have to say like game like on the lens stop. Those like shade ones. I don't know. I gotta make maybe make something custom funny, but let's go to something positive happen in our Oblivious stock. Can you summarize? Let's go. Jackson's, thank you for being here. And we had great earnings, very positive. Here's a great little summary on the screen here, just an overview, and then we're going to get more detailed into the numbers. And again, I said at the beginning of the stream, at a certain point I will have to go because I do have to help out with some things tonight. I usually don't stream on Tuesdays, but I had to get it in today. But here's a great summary, and we'll dig into numbers soon. All right, we're doing great, friends. And yeah, Anthony G, thank you for being here as well. I think you're right that everyone's just in great spirits right now. I know I definitely am. Jose, I'm not going to hold your hand. Check your theta and IV levels and check the RSI on the daily. Good luck. Xbit knows what's up, so I definitely look that stuff up if I were you, Jose. Xbit always comes in with the facts and some knowledge, and appreciate that. Jose, you could at least sell enough calls to get your investment back. You can then watch them rest in peace. It's true, yeah. Fresh maker, not a bad idea. But let's get into the numbers here. Let's go down a little bit. So yeah, net sales right here. This is for the quarter. So everything I'm going through here is for quarter 4. So we don't have, I'll keep refreshing and I'll do the annuals till it comes. Just waiting for that, but yep. So we'll just stick with this for now. So, okay. As of January 29th, that was the mark of their quarter. So all of these numbers, everything we're seeing in this report is for the 13 weeks previous to January 29th. So basically, November, December, January is GameStop's quarter 4. So we had a total of 4,573 stores across all of our segments, 3,018 in the US, 231 in Canada, 417 in Australia, and 907 in Europe. Our stores and e-commerce sites operate primarily under names of GameStop, EB Games, and Micromania. And if you remember, what's the name of it? The Canadian, it wasn't EB Games. I forgot they basically rebranded them all to be GameStop, and I really like that. I think any other EB Games out there, they should really brand to GameStop. The brand name is so strong for GameStop, in my opinion. I really, really think they should leverage that absolutely as much as they can, and I do think they're doing a great job with it. But if they can even create more in-house merchandise, maybe, they've floated the idea of an acquisition last quarter on the earnings call. Maybe there's some kind of acquisition of some hardware company, not necessarily software. I don't know. Basically something, whether it's like a streaming setup, anything with the brand name GameStop. I just think people want that. Or I know personally, if I need a keyboard, I'm going to go get a GameStop keyboard, right? And I know they do have one right now, like a keyboard and mouse, I think. But I really think they should have more options, more colors, more just flexibility with it, because I really feel like people do like the name GameStop. And maybe even customization is a route they could go. I don't know if that exactly fits their model, but hey, just a random idea. We also include 50 pop culture themed stores selling collectibles, apparel. Oh, look at this. This is a very interesting line right here. Our segments also include 50 pop culture themed stores selling collectibles, apparel, gadgets, electronics, toys, and other retail products for technology enthusiasts and general consumers in international markets operating under the Zing Pop Culture brand. Our brands also include Game Informer magazine, the world's leading print and digital gaming publication. So, that's interesting to me, Zing Pop Culture. And if you just look at some of the items they're selling, collectible stands out to me because if you go back here, and the company has talked about it. Oh yeah, this is last year's, but wow, total goof there. But I still wanted to make the point of you always have to read every little detail, and this is as of last year, and I wanted to do it compared to this year when we get it, but this year isn't here yet. But selling collectibles, apparel, gadgets, electronics, toys, those are things. And now I have the wrong things open. Where were we? There we go. Okay, so for example, the Zing Pop Culture, that is definitely contributing in some shape or form. Increased full year sales in the collectibles category, which is an area in which the company continues to prioritize long-term growth. From what I understand, collectibles have higher margins, hence why they're focused on that. And if you look at where their revenue is, okay. And by the way, guys, I'm really just really looking at this. I gave it a quick overview before I started streaming, but I'm really just pulling everything up, getting all the information on the fly, just like you guys right now. But thank you for being here with me. Net sales, hardware, okay, percent of total. So this is, okay, 13 weeks versus 52 weeks. So we'll look at the full year first. I like to look at that. Hardware and accessories, year over year, slightly down, still near same percentage of the revenue. Software, definitely down year over year, only 30% versus 33.5 the previous year. But collectibles, pretty sizable growth there. So the collectibles growth nearly offset the software. Hardwares and accessories was pretty much sideways. And hardwares and accessories does include sale of new and pre-owned hardware, accessories, hardware bundles in which hardware and digital or physical software are packaged together in simple SKU, interactive game figures, strategy games, mobile and consumer electronics. And then software includes sale of new and pre-owned video game software, digital software, and PC entertainment software. So what I wonder, I believe NFT collectibles and any revenue related to the NFT marketplace, obviously it's very limited at this point in time, but as they continue to grow that, I think that'll continue to come. But I think that's falling under software. I could be wrong. If anybody wants to let me know in the chat, I'm not 100% sure. What I'm really going to be excited is for the day they add the line Web3 related or digital sales, something like that. Eventually, I personally think they're going to add a separate category for everything they're doing in Web3 and the way they're expanding there. And I think that'll be really exciting. But collectibles growth, I think that's really, really exciting to see year over year. Look at it quarter over quarter, especially around holidays, because collectibles have the largest margin. So I'll continue to look for them to grow that because, especially the companies saying that, that's a particular point in their overview bullet points. So it's definitely something I'll keep an eye on because not only am I looking for that, the company themselves is saying, yeah, we're going to keep focusing on that. I'm like, hey, that makes sense because those are profitable items in general. Yes, Canada was EB Games, used to be Electronic Boutique. Thank you, Freshman Acre. Thank you, Silly Ape. E-commerce sales up. I believe so. Let's pull that up at some point. But yeah, all the transformation costs are generally gone, or what they label them as that. Operating earnings positive. The EPS, I just think that's crazy too. Very remarkable. The estimate was negative 13 too. And check this out real quick. Stock compensation expense because executives are being compensated in shares. I love to see that there. Let's see. Do they highlight e-commerce here? Whoa. Too zoomed in. Yeah, I'm really just waiting for the 10K. I want to see the DRS number. Where is it? GME 2023 10K. See, the marketplace is still in beta. The progress is impressive. That's a fact, XBit. That's a straight fact because everything's really still getting started. A lot of people are like, oh, it flopped. They just launched silly pictures and more people just selling art, which, I think is a unique aspect of it. And artists have to get paid somehow, right? But that's just one tiny, 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 tiny aspect of really what I think the big grand goal is of Web3 and everything they're trying to do with NFTs. Because it's about digital collectibles, specifically in games, but I think it really goes beyond that. But it's really about digital collectibles and whatever the underlying thing is, the NFT is just the the digital connection to the internet, if that kind of makes sense, of not necessarily physical items, but things like concert tickets. We've talked about various things on here before, but mostly what GameStop's starting, and then they're going to expand, in my opinion, is through Web3. I'm sorry, gaming and Web3. They really see the opportunity there, and they have the brand name of GameStop, strengthened their name because any individual that just likes the stock, I mean not maybe every single individual, but me, right, as an individual that likes the company, I love GameStop. Whatever game goes on the GameStop marketplace, I'm gonna at least try and play it especially when I get my new computer. That's really why I haven't played like Curiverse or anything like that yet, or I really want to try Undead Blocks as well, just because it's on GameStop's platform. They look like fun games. Why would I not try them? Why would I not support the company? Using their products, buying from GameStop first versus other people. I'm sorry, versus other retail stores. Why would you not if you're investing in the company? And I really feel like all of those things kind of came to show. Of course, there was revenue estimates that were beat, but how accurate are those? Because those are analysts, like who do they think they are anyway? They just put numbers out there. But, that's what I think. Let's see. Raider Bo, I have the same hoodie on. What up? You know the vibes. Wendy, thank you for being here. Cheers. Yes, XBit, I hope they will hold more ETH in the future. They could. We'll have to see. Oh, is this it? Oh, no, I'm stupid. 8K. You're literally excited for nothing. Ryan Cohen has given us everything. What did Amazon give us? What did Microsoft give us? Even Apple, which I am a shareholder of, they charge us for what they provide. GameStop gives us everything. We are so spoiled. That's facts, XBit, but I really feel like that is what's built the strength in the name of GameStop because true people that see what's going on, in my opinion, to really read about it, understand the passion and why it's there and what's really going on here as a whole. But so many people will just say, "Oh, it's a dying company," or "Oh, that guy that always posts." Danzo said it before. Shout out to you if you're here. He said it on like one of my tweets. He's like that guy Camelot or something. Is that his name? The one that's always like, "Oh, GameStop. They tried to launch an NFT." Like he just says the stupidest stuff. He's just some salty guy because he used to work at GameStop and he like hated his job there or whatever. I don't know. I don't want to talk bad about people, but he's a bum. That's all you gotta know. So many bums out there, although I hold both, I hold both. Well, what do you say now? Let's see. Oh, dare I type it in? Dare I type it in? Let's see how it's reacting to this. Of course, of course. Wait, look at that. Look at it, shit. Of course it's trending there. Forced association till AMC goes bankrupt. Oh, the AMC meme rally. Here it is. Here comes the short squeeze. I also think it's laughable. Anybody that thinks this is really just about a short squeeze at this point, and let me clarify, I definitely understand a lot of people are in this for the massive potential of allegedly, massive amounts of suppressed short interest, right? Allegedly, of course. But what I'm saying here is none of that matters without the success of the company. So that's why it's easiest, in my opinion, to just focus on what the company's doing, where they're going, looking at their numbers, and the numbers tell me everything they've been saying is going to happen or they're going to do, they're doing. And Ryan Cohen is putting in the work. Matt Furlong is putting in the work. All these different people are putting in the work. And individuals like myself and like you watching this are doing the research into the company and seeing what's going on. And that's why I think it's special that they don't have to issue guidance, because they know people invested in the company generally are very educated on what the company is doing without them even really having to say a lot. They just say, okay, these are the numbers. Here it is. I'm going to hit you with the straight facts. I'm not going to waste your time. And they're not going to take Q&A and answer BS questions from baloney analysts when it's really about individual investors mostly invested in their company. Of course, they'll take other investors, and there's definitely other investors out there. But as a whole, the analysts will just ask silly questions. It just adds to the length of the earnings call. You put out guidance. It'll be used against you in some shape or form. Whereas me as an individual, I'm like, okay, well, I don't really care if they're putting out guidance or not, because they have that swag. That's what I was saying before. They have swag enough to be like, listen, we don't even need to put out guidance, and people want to buy our stock because we're going to do what we say we're going to do. Watch. Look what we did in 2021. Look what we did in 2022. And then now they're going to say next year, look what we did in 2023. And I just think it's awesome that people are still going to doubt GameStop after this. I want people to doubt GameStop now. I see everything just nicely coming. It's just all coming together. It's like the perfect storm. Everything's getting ugly in the world. GameStop's just powering up, putting itself in a great position. They don't have debt. They're loaded with cash. They continue to operate efficiently, moving towards more efficient operating. But it's just exciting. And who would have thought, outside of people that like the stock and are really looking at what's going on, that GameStop will be making this kind of move in this kind of stock market, and people are going to be like tomorrow, oh, it's this, oh, it's that. Just get ready for all the stories and whatever. And at the end of the day, take a look at the numbers, listen to that company's conference calls, ignore all the noise out there, and just know what you want to do for yourself as an individual and where you see things going and where your head's at. But damn, what a time to be alive. 41 of you here right now. This is awesome. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate you all. Just straight sending it right now. I just hopped on after work. Literally just checking out everything as you all are right now in real time. I'm really looking for this 10K to come out. I think that'll be really exciting. Has the 10K been delayed? JB, that's a good question, because I keep refreshing and I'm looking for it and I don't see it yet. So I'm starting to wonder, I'm like, was that DRS number a little bit scary or something, right? Maybe theoretically, allegedly, but I don't know. Yeah, I really want to see it. I mean, it should be coming out today. Earnings came out, the 8K came out. So where's the 10K at, for the annual? But we'll see. I'm going to keep an eye out. I'm going to keep the stream going, hopefully, till it gets here. AMC just had 20 million volume, GME almost at 15 million. AMC is so dead. Freshmaker, you're right. They just diluted the crap out of it, unfortunately. If the company is shorted to oblivion, what's the price point for these short sellers in which it reaches a point of no return? Wouvier, that's a good question. Honestly, I feel like we truly won't know until we look back one day at everything that happened and just the performance of the stock, and we'll be like, damn, that must have been the point where it was just too much. But we'll see, right? Time will tell. Honestly, I don't really have like a specific point, but I would think, this big move, you're betting against it. This hurts undoubtedly. So we'll just see. We'll just continue to see what happens. Do you think we will get FOMO buying tomorrow? Jackson's, that's a great point. I think it could absolutely happen. But at the end of the day, anything could happen with the price action. There could be a lot of volatility. There could have been traders flooding in. Maybe somebody knew something, got a little word from a little birdie, and was putting in a bunch of shares to make a short-term trade or options. Who knows, right? Who knows what really goes on behind the scenes at the end of the day? I think GameStop's pretty tight-lipped, but in general, even without that, somebody with a lot of capital at a large position or a lot of control, whatever you want to look at it as, anything could happen, I feel like, with the price action in the short term. So I truly don't know, but you would have to imagine just seeing it trending on Yahoo Finance. The company is actually profitable. Some people are probably going to just hop in tomorrow. Maybe they'll hop right out, but hey, we'll see. Almost 24% short interest on GME. Imagine short sellers closing their positions. Yeah, and Freshmaker, that's just for what's reported. Because think about all the other, sneaky ways that sometimes things don't quite get reported accurately. But just looking at that short interest alone, I think that's a remarkable number. But again, even beyond that, it's all about what the company's doing. If the company succeeds and delivers value to shareholders, number one, you as a shareholder, me as a shareholder, or whoever's a shareholder out there, right? I don't want to speak for anybody else, will be happy because they'll receive a dividend, they'll have value provided to them. And anybody betting against the company won't be happy because they might have to pay a dividend, or they might be getting burned by stock buybacks for the company because they're succeeding and they have extra cash. So any company right now, in my opinion, that has a lot of cash is in great position in a high interest rate environment. Me as a young individual, I've never even seen interest rates like this. Like, this is something, like, when I remember learning, I forgot what I was saying, it's maybe a recent video or a recent stream. I remember learning about the risk-free rate in school and the risk of stocks versus bonds, and I thought to myself, why would anybody ever invest in bonds when interest rates are zero? Why doesn't everybody just invest in stocks? This is why everybody does stocks. Who gives a crap about bonds? Why do we even have to learn this shit? This is what I was thinking in early college, like late high school. I was like, who cares? But now I understand interest rates, and I really see what a bond is, obviously a little bit more. But I'm like, oh, okay. So there actually is, risk versus the guaranteed return you would get with a government bond, and understanding interest rates and actually seeing how things can adapt instead of a forever 0% interest rate economy. So now companies with debt or that need to raise more capital are really in a tough spot, especially if you're a startup, you're really just trying to make it happen, you're just trying to fund a bunch of things. That's why we're seeing all these different companies, in my opinion, cutting jobs, cutting costs in various different places. All these different things are starting to happen. You see it at the big companies. They've been starting to do it. Amazon, Meta, they've had multiple rounds of layoffs now, if I'm not mistaken, a lot of these large companies. So that is partly because these companies are now like, okay, well, we can't just be in this full growth mode, because if we're going to take on any kind of debt, it's going to be expensive. So we have to make sure we're, operating a little bit more efficiently. All of a sudden, like, yeah, we don't need like 17 coffee makers in the Facebook office, right? And stuff like that. Like those videos of, remember those TikToks that used to trend where it was like, people would be saying, or like, my day in the life as a Facebook employee. And it's basically them just like screwing around. Like, they're not even doing that much work. They're like, oh yeah. And then I go to the cafe, do a little bit of work, and I go on a nice little walk. I just don't see that happening at GameStop. I see Ryan Cohen and executives, like, I don't think they're sitting there like, don't talk. No, like, I don't think that's what's going on at the headquarters. I think it's like what you see. That picture of Larry Ching smiling at Ryan Cohen like this, something like talking. It's like a stock photo almost. I gotta look it up, but Larry Chang, Ryan Cohen. It's a pretty awesome picture, but I feel like this is the vibe of the office. Let's see it. Is that Ryan Cohen right there he's talking? I don't know. But they just seem like guys that, like, they're bros. Just like a lot of other people on here, right? Maybe not everybody's a bro. Maybe you're whatever. I mean, that's just, you can think whatever you want a bro to be. But I think they're bros in the sense, not with each other, but they're, okay, like, we're cool. Like, we gotta work. Like, we can be cool and, you know, it's all chill in the office and we can make jokes and this that, but work is work. Like we don't play around when it comes to work. And when it like this is business. Business is business. I think that's the vibe they have. And I personally feel like that's the best work environment. And that's just kind of the culture it seems like they're bringing there. Of course, you can't really know that unless you're in the inside. But from my experience, I mean, I don't have that much experience in the workforce, but when you have that kind of culture where it's like, okay, like, yeah, it's all chill and whatever, but once the customer's around, or the client's around, or we have to make this decision, or we have a task to complete, we got to lock in. We got to lock in and know when to cut out the games, right? And playing around. And Ryan Cohen just doesn't seem like a guy that plays around. He seems like a motivated guy. I mean, I think that's been long determined, and everybody has strong opinions of him, or not strong opinions of him. Well, yeah, I guess strong opinions of him is fair to say because a lot of people strongly like him. A lot of people I would say are misinformed, like he rogged on Bed Bath and Beyond, like he did him dirty and all that. And I'm like, that's not what happened. That's not what happened. He tried to turn it around. The company seemed to be, and this is just allegedly, and just personal thoughts and opinions here. The company was trying to turn around, and maybe he came in there and he provided some ideas of, hey, this is how we can fix things up and operate more efficiently. But it seemed like the Wall Street plants were already there. Some people with some potential interest in the company failing were already heavily embedded in the company, so it seems. So I think he was like, okay, well, I got to get out. I don't really think it was a trade. And from what I understand, I believe the proceeds went to the company from his sale because it was within like 6 months or some kind of rule like that, where an insider with a large enough position, the proceeds actually went to the company. So if that did happen, where did those proceeds go? Gone, because Bed Bat's in a lot of trouble right now. And anybody in it, I do wish you the best, but I do think they're going to need a lot because I know some of the arguments are, oh, well, Ryan Cohen gets back in, I'm still in, right? Or it's all about Ryan Cohen, he was in it. But at the end of the day, are they doing this? Like, look what we have here. Look at what's in front of you on my screen right now. Is Bed Bath & Beyond doing this? They're just simply not. Maybe one day they can get there, but it's going to be a lot more dilution and just additional steps. And where GameStop started their turnaround was in a zero interest rate environment. We're not in that anymore, going back to what I was kind of saying before. So just, always read things, read the numbers. And that's why I say, like, you can't just invest for the short squeeze because it doesn't matter how short a stock is. As we've seen, a lot of shady things can kind of go on behind the scenes and go on and on and on. It doesn't matter unless the company succeeds and thrives forwards. And that's what I see happening with GameStop. And that's why I'm absolutely jacked right now, just like many other individuals out there. But hey, that's just me. And damn, I'm really looking like a goon with these glasses. Almost 24% short interest. Short positions by law do not need to be disclosed to the public. XBIT, I believe I was just reading today that, if it's held at certain international banks in under like a certain category or in a certain type of swap or derivative or all these different technical things, it's technically not reported. So, think what you want of that information. So interest stat is always a mystery no matter what is deployed unless you go to court. Yeah, I think you're right, XBit, and I think you'd have to go way up the court for that to even happen because it's just craziness. 24 at least reported should be way higher than this. Yeah, no, that's true, Freshmaker. Our DS numbers out yet? Thank you, Tetron. Amid, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. But no, I don't think so. Let me refresh again. I keep trying to look, and then oh, no. Fuck, every time I see the K and I get excited, I see 2023, today's date, I'm like, oh, but then it's not it's the 8K, not the 10K. That's the current report. We need the annual filing. We still don't have that yet. I'm very, very excited. What is that DRS number? What is the full annual report? Is it going to be something little in there that maybe we haven't seen yet, that hasn't been discussed yet? I want to see. We'll see. Now we need some higher revenue in the future. Then we have all we need for the stock to go even higher than this. GameStop store in Canada is busy as fuck. Love to see it, Ryan Sung. Love to hear it. Thanks for sharing that info. Jack, glasses look good. Dude, it's the earning goggles. I think I have to bring these out every time, or earnings glasses, whatever you want to call them. But thank you. But yeah, higher revenue. Freshmaker, that's a great point. I think if the company continues to operate efficiently, just from alone, the passionate group of shoppers, even beyond the stockholders, there's definitely some passionate shoppers there. Nostalgic, people that have gone to there for a very, very long time. Remember going there when they were kids, me included. that's definitely a factor of it. So even beyond stockholders, and so long as the company just operates efficiently, even if they can just kind of maintain their revenue from everything they're doing now in terms of e-commerce and store sales, and they just close unprofitable stores. Hopefully, stores don't become unprofitable, but if unfortunately they do, there's just too much concentration in the region, they have to. So be it. Let them keep operating efficiently and keeping that top line revenue generally steady. Where I see the growth coming in is Web3. I think Web3 drives the growth. That's a high margin general business, everything with it is higher margin because it's all digital. There's just generally less overhead than regular e-commerce. So having said that, I think it'll drive GameStop's margins in the future. It'll drive top line growth, bottom line growth, net income, all of that I think will really be driven by big expansion into Web3. But I really think that's going to take several years until we see it like reported, for example, here. Where was I? Damn, still no annual report. Still no annual report. This is last year's. This isn't it. Oh, that was it, wasn't it? But what I'm really looking for is eventually, well, also collectibles. That's a higher margin category I want to see continue to grow. Eventually, for when they're growing, I want to see Web3 have its own category or digital something have its own category. I think that'll be a really, really exciting milestone when that time comes. But even beyond that, a great example I've showed on a previous stream. If you go to macro trends, I love this website for just information and what Dillard's has done over time. Shares outstanding. This is good for overview. They've just consistently bought back stock over time. One way to deliver value to shareholders. Okay, look at their EPS. They're like, all right, we got to operate more efficiently. They've really gotten more profitable. And this was after the company's stocks started being very much shorted. So if you look at DDDS stock, I'll show you some interesting stuff here. And this does relate to GameStop, so stick with me here. Net income. But at the end of the day, their revenue, like they're not doing anything that astonishing. So Dillard's is just basically a furniture store and they sell home goods, things like that, a little bit higher end. Nothing astonishing here, right? But they've consistently used profits to buy back shares and deliver dividends and just overall value to shareholders. So if you look at Dillard's, it doesn't have a lot of shares trade hands, and the trading is generally choppy because, and look at the performance all of a sudden. Like, look at this over the past couple of years. Why is this? The stock was heavily beat down, and then, by the way, did I mention Dillard's is owned by a family named Dillard? So they all own a huge chunk of the shares, and they directly registered them, from what I understand. So while that maybe in itself didn't just push the stock higher, it was, shares booked in their names as individuals, and they're getting their dividends. Shares are being bought back. So it's just less shares out there for other cahoots or whatever, being in cahoots, whatever you want to call it, because there are more shares registered to individuals, so that just takes shares out of the name of Seed & Co. and into the name of individuals. That's one aspect. Another aspect is buying back shares, as we saw here. And this is all without even revenue increasing. It's about making good use of their free cash flow and their profits. So they bought back shares. They've been doing that. And then dividends. Dillard's dividend history. So I'll show you that in a second. Look, they announced a 20-cent dividend. They've been doing a 20-cent dividend for a while now. But check this out. Boom, $15 one-time special dividend at the end of last year, payable in January of this year. Boom, end of 2021, same deal. Another $15 one-time dividend. And they also raised their dividend after, going from 10 to 15, 15 to 20. That's a pretty substantial raise. That's like 33.3%. And then these one-time special dividends, they're delivering the value to shareholders because the people running the company are shareholders themselves. And if you're betting against Dillard's during this time period, right, since they did the first special dividend, let's just look at it since then. So look at here. First special dividend was end of 2021. Even there, they were already driving it forward. So you have already had stock appreciation if you bought back here. You would have been getting dividends that whole time, and then you would have stock appreciation and then special dividends. And what I personally think could happen with GameStop is dividends come back. They haven't done a dividend in a while, but eventually, once the growth is really there and they're really driving forward, they have everything exactly where they want to be. Maybe not exactly, but really pushing. At that point, they start doing dividends, they start buying back shares, and then they do an NFT dividend in some shape or form, but it will have to have some relation to what they're doing, and there has to be a lot of knowledge and just direction with it if they do go that route. But I really think it's on the table. But maybe even there's a special dividend to start out of nowhere, because what we've seen with the company is they don't like, oh, okay, we're going to do this. Imagine just next quarter they're random like, all right, we're going to do a random like $1 dividend per share. Like that'd be pretty crazy. 300 million shares out there, they could do it. I mean, that would be a good chunk of their cash. I don't know if I'd necessarily want them to do that right now, but just imagine betting against GameStop and you have a massive short position, and it could be massive to you as an individual betting against it, right? If you're just an individual out there betting against GameStop, whoever that may be, probably not you watching this, but that would hurt them, right? If they were short 100 shares, it's a lot of money to them as an individual, and all of a sudden they owe $100. So, yeah, I just think shareholder value is really the way to go and being delivered. But let's check chat here. Damn, everything's popping off here. Everybody hopping in. Appreciate you all. Let's get back to GME over here. But yeah, Dillard's is just an example of shareholder value being delivered without massive growth even being there. What I think is exciting about GameStop is I really think the growth can be there through Web3, just operating efficiently and just the passion behind the brand. Simply anything GameStop will do right now, there's going to be a large group of individuals that at least give it a roll, right? Give it a try, explore what it is, whatever it is, right? They could do something random. They could launch a freaking coffee, GameStop coffee, right? Which would make no fucking sense. But I would try it. I would try it. I'd be like, all right, let's freaking have this coffee. Is it going to take me to the moon in terms of caffeine, or what's the deal with it? I would literally try it. And I think that's just really, really powerful when a brand name has that kind of influence and just love amongst people. But hey, that's just what I think. Um, let's go. You think GME's going to 100? Carlo, I think so, but I don't know about this year. I don't know about today, tomorrow, next month. I can't really give you a timeline on that. But what I can say is I think in the long term, it's definitely going to happen. But hey, that's just what I think. Um, let's go. Hype 618. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. How do you say that? Hadouken, thank you for being here. 6,250 shares in your IRA. All right, hey, that shares in the IRA. The only unfortunate thing, in my personal opinion, is that you can't directly register them. But I'll say I have shares in my traditional IRA and Roth IRA as well. But hey, that's just me. Wear the same clothes as well for next earnings. G-pop, I might have to. Honestly, I mean, I'm gonna wear the same clothes to work, the same socks. Then I'll get a change to the same outfit next year. You know, everything. I'll rock it all the same. A little bit of a superstition building. Carlo GME 2100. My bad. I had to check it, but yeah, eventually, sooner than later. If and when dominoes ultimately fall, will this look worse than 2008? Mouvier, honestly, I do fear. Like, I read a lot about banks in the past like week or two, just figuring out and learning a ton about them. It's crazy. I could hit you with some facts about Credit Suisse. They were bought out by UBS for about $3.4 billion, but Swiss National Bank basically provided 50 billion last week, then another 100 billion this week just to allow the deal to go through. And this is all for a company being valued at 3 billion, a company with 200 billion of liabilities, like 100 billion something of cash and cash equivalents. So just massive, massive amount of everything, deposits, assets, probably a lot of crap assets, and that's why everything that's happening with them is happening. But just size, like if you just look at Credit Suisse, it's huge. It's huge. It's such an influential part of the Swiss government. And when I just realized, or Swiss economy, and so many of these banks, I don't know if you saw Bank of Japan, European Bank, Bank of Canada, but European National Bank, the Federal Reserve, they all started doing these swap line things. Federal Reserve swap line, and this was concerning because they're all basically swapping liquidity back super back and forth because it's like there's just not enough money in the system, it seems like. um Whatever, I don't want to like get looked at now. I want to focus on GameStop, but basically I'm nervous. I didn't live through 2008. I mean, I did, but I was what, like 8 years old, so I don't know shit. I didn't really, I read about it, of course, and I do understand it, but I wasn't there, so I couldn't tell you what it's like actually going to be like day to day for individuals. But it's alarming, and it's just crazy. It is just crazy, and I really hope a lot of people don't get burned. And yeah, I just hope the future is not ugly. I don't want the whole system to burn down, honestly. I mean, whatever has to happen, and or whatever will happen will happen. I can't control it as an individual. I'll just look at what's in front of me, but it's alarming. It's absolutely alarming, and I do fear it could be worse than 2008. Just because, again, just like Credit Suisse is very, very large in size. You know what else is very, very large in size? The Fed balance sheet, the amount of currency in circulation now, and we don't have a lot of monetary policy left to enact. Reserve ratio has been 0%. We're rapidly raising rates now, which is evidently causing problems. And like, what more can you do when you've already just loaded up the money supply? Throw more money out there, throw more money out there, throw more money out there. Try and pull it out now, and we're gonna have problems. You try and raise the reserve ratio now, we're gonna have problems. So it's alarming. I do worry, but hey, we're gonna see. Expert says, if you're asking about price targets, I can tell you don't know what you're doing. Please educate yourself and acquire strategy. Hey, that's just what Expert thinks. Kev MC says, W stream. Appreciate you. Thank you. This is a W. I'd like to think so. But damn, you know what's a W? 49 of you here right now. I'm so blessed for that. Thank you so much for watching. I'm just out here hanging out, looking into GameStop, reading what's been going on. Those of you who don't know, I usually stream Monday and Wednesday, 7 p.m. Eastern. Just talking about GameStop, economy as a whole, a bunch of different things going on. But just personal thoughts and opinions here. I'm not here to show you anything groundbreaking or say, oh, buy this and you're going to get rich tomorrow. I'm just like, listen, this is what I see. This is how I see it. And let's go. But thank you all for being here. Where do you see GME tomorrow? 30? Hey, yeah, I mean, it could be. Don't be a follower. Do your homework. Moon, Brett. Hey, I think we might be going there. We'll see. Don't know that much in GME. Just put up a few hundred for fun. Hey, MH, it's all about what an individual can do. I really feel like that's important. You want to do what's best for you. That's all you feel comfortable with. That's what you should do. Because if you're going to stress at night, you're going to lose sleep about your money somewhere. You probably shouldn't put it there. So if you do want to put more in, you just want to become more and more educated on GameStop or whatever you're going to invest in, and then you could feel more comfortable to add it over time. And also, I found in my personal experience, anytime you rush into anything, it's not good. You might look at the stock right now like, oh, it's up 48%. I missed out. I wish I got more. But hey, there's always going to be an opportunity to get in again. Maybe it's not exactly this low ever again at 17, 18, but just keep an eye on it. Keep doing your research, and there might be more opportunities on the line, because at the end of the day, if you're looking long term, there's always going to be an opportunity in the short term in one shape or form. But that's just what I think. If you ask me NFT dividend or cash dividend, I'll take the cash dividend. Honestly, I like both of them. Oh, Marantz is here. Let's go. I love you too, Marantz. I love your channel. That was such an awesome stream today, man. That one was fucking legendary. It was actually awesome. Like, I really just... Epic, man. Epic. I was so annoyed I had so much work to do today and just so much random crap going on, but I really tried to listen to so much of it. It was awesome, everything I caught. You guys should absolutely subscribe to Marantz if you're not. He spits facts. He spits out great information. He's a big homie. GME Easy 35 tomorrow. Pre-market. I don't know about that. That'd be crazy. But hey, I mean, I'll just watch and see what happens. See, I love this channel. What a homie. If you ask me, NFT dividend or cash dividend, honestly, I think both could potentially happen. I'll take both. I'll take either or. And truly, I trust in whatever Ryan Cohen and the other executives are planning in the future. And I think they will find the best way to deliver shareholder value, as they are large shareholders themselves. I only drink GameStop coffee. Facts. That's facts. 37 Rocco, because I was saying that before. Damn, I got to get caught up. I'm not used to having this much of a chat. I appreciate you all so much for chatting. Thank you for being here. Do you believe in DRS infinity pool theory? And if not, what do you think the ceiling would be for the stock price? So, Amid, my overall thought on it is, it seems like, allegedly, there's more shares sold than existed. Or not allegedly, it was reported. But allegedly, it's still like that, right? And, some people think that so, some people think not. Everybody can always think what they want. But I think the numbers don't lie. If individuals continue to directly register shares, then we'll just see what happens. We'll just see what happens. Because as more and more shares become registered, if it gets to a point, 50% of shares outstanding are directly registered, that's just unheard of. Then what about insiders, institutions? There's just a very, very limited amount of shares. Then what if, not what if, I personally think it's going to happen, and Marantz has definitely said this, and I think we're going towards it, S&P 500 for GameStop. Tons of funds would have to buy in. So imagine GameStop moving into the S&P with a large DRS count that's just directly registered shareholders, and then institutions have to come in and buy shares for funds and things of that nature, mutual funds, ETFs representing S&P 500. And even as they just continue to move up and continue to become more and more profitable, I think more and more ETFs and mutual funds will start to add them. But S&P 500 is kind of forced. So what I'm getting at here is, I'm not even really concerned about a price. I'll just keep seeing what the company does and like really what's in front of me because I feel like anything underlying, any massive kind of amount of short interest, it all just bubbles up with the company's success. It says the company just succeeds and drives forward and delivers value to shareholders. Anybody betting against it, it's all going to bubble to the surface and they're going to get burned one way or another. And that's just what I think. But just buy, no worries if DRS or not. That's fair 618, but hey, I mean, I think DRS absolutely matters because it's a matter of shares being directly registered in your name or in this name of Seed& Co. for your benefit name, right? But that's just my opinion. I'm a straggler from a rants. Nice to see you here, amigo. Just tuning in. I'm at work. Really bad week for me, brothers. Rocco, I appreciate you being here. I know how it goes sometimes. You know, a long grind at work. I know, especially when I worked at Marshalls and was like in school. Those are some of like the longest days of my life. So I'm pretty blessed now. You know, being in an office and then doing what I do on YouTube now. So I don't have any like really long, grueling days, but appreciate that grind you put in. You know, it's a lot of work. So I've been there, but you know, appreciate you still watching the stream even as you're working hard out there. Ryan Wigglesworth, Moon. Hey, hey, hey. I guess that's what that hand is. Rocco, keep your head up. Facts and Morantz, you're such a homie, man. Such a homie. Thank you for being here. Raider Bo, no DRS number. No DRS yet because I'm waiting for, we're going to refresh it again, the 10K. I still haven't seen it. Still haven't seen it. Let's just make sure. Any 10K? No, still not out there. XP, please stop. How is financial crisis bullish for GME? Damn, so many chats. I appreciate you all. Infinite risk coming, baby. Jonathan, thank you for being here. It does seem like we're due for some infinite risk. How is the financial crisis for bullish for GME? So Lamongo, thank you for being here first of all. But as Morantz puts it, it's distressed credit investors. So anybody, you know, betting heavily against GameStop, if they're leveraged in some way against long positions, then those long positions falling in value as GameStop's rising in value, as we're seeing today, just through better success of the company and the turnaround taking place, it becomes harder and harder to bet against it with collateral when that collateral is falling relative to it. So, I mean, obviously, there's more factors than that. People think, you know, allegedly, short interest is suppressed in a lot of different ways, and it's easy to keep it suppressed when you're making a lot of money and everything's good. But if you're not making a lot of money in this current economy, as a large bank, hedge fund, market maker, whatever, it's harder and harder to, you know, keep spending the money to maintain that position. But again, as long as the company is succeeding, all of that just bubbles to the surface over time through success. The music has stopped playing. This is it. This is it. Mr. and Tash. It could be. It really could be. I mean, if you're betting against GameStop and you're looking at this right now, you're like, oh, fuck. They really are profitable. They beat on everything, and the numbers look good. And again, I was saying it a little bit earlier in the stream, but Q1, Q2, maybe not as strong, maybe not as much profitability as we hope after seeing this, maybe even slightly negative, right? But I think Q3, 2023 and beyond, back half of 2023 and onwards, Web3 will be rolling. They'll have hopefully Gmerica out. We'll find out more about what that truly is. And I really feel like they'll be driving forwards. And at that point, they'll be growing. And that'll be really, really exciting. I think the profitability will absolutely be maintained consistently. So, you know, even if Q1 wasn't profitable, I'm okay. That's fine. I think they're not going to lose a massive amount of money. That would just be bizarre and out of nowhere. So I'm really just continuing to focus on the long term. And I just really like that it's the annual report right now, especially because I was saying also before, you compare 2022 as a whole versus 2021. For example, like I have the sales pulled up here by category I was talking about before, but software loss or decline rather was offset by collectibles, and collectibles, if you look over time, are becoming an increasingly larger part of their revenue, and collectibles are a larger margin item, and everything GameStop does in Web3 are going to be larger margin, or I'm starting to like do some weird rhymes and shit, but the revenue will continue to grow, and I believe margins as a whole will grow because there will be driving growth in collectibles in Web3. Not to say hardware and accessories can't ever grow again, but I don't think that's the route they're going, where it's like, oh, we're going to see that number going up like 10%, 20% year to year. I think that is going to come collectible strength because there's always going to be collectibles. Things are always changing. People are always collecting things, and it's just part of the nature of GameStop. And I would say People like to collect the stock, right? I collect the stock. That's how I kind of look at it these days. I don't really anticipate on selling anytime in the near future, so I really look at it as like collecting it. And my friend was kind of saying that to me. He was actually on here. Shout out to John Lacey. He was on a recent stream. We were doing a little collab, just talking about the potential of Web3 and gaming. And he brought up a great point. He's like, anything I buy, I'm collecting it. Why would I even think about selling it? And he's had that mentality for a long time. I mean, he's not just like a GameStop guy. He's a lot into different Web3 stuff. But basically, he was like, yeah, it's just a collectible. And I'm like, I like that. So collectibles are here to stay, in my opinion. Web3, the growth is there. And it'll just keep moving forward. But yeah, back to the chat. Music stopped playing. Glad to be here with you on this special day. Jackson's, thank you for being here. It is quite a special day. I really think it's historic. 3, 2, 1, blast off. 3, 2, 1, profitability, baby. Here we are. I'm a musician. I can start the music at any time, buddy. I like that XFit. Below $20 is a thing of the past now. It'll never go that low again. I think so. What if the 10Q? I think you're right, Freshmaker, honestly. I'd be very surprised if it did. And if it did, I think a lot of people are going to buy in and be like, damn, I didn't know I'd have this opportunity again. And myself would probably be included. But welcome, Dano. What up, Brett? Thank you for being here. 10 million shares traded in after hours today. Dan, JB, that's a lot. That makes me think tomorrow we could see a lot of shares traded. We haven't had any like big volume days for GameStop in like a really, really long time. So a 50 million plus volume day, I think would be really cool to see. Damn, I got the headset falling off. I'm going for a minute here. Great day for the GME community. That's a fact. What if 10Q has some ridiculous GME numbers and they wait to post it tomorrow and FOMO kicks in hard when the market opens? That's a good question, YBA, maybe, but I feel like, they just put out things when they have it. I am a little curious why they haven't put it out yet. And it does make me start to wonder, is there a reason it's not out yet? But I guess we'll see, right, over time. I don't care about Tesla 300 and Solar 300. Technicals don't matter over the course of 5 years. 72 mil, baby. Let's go. What's 72 mil? The DRS? Oh, that's probably last number, but thank you, Ryan Wigglesworth. Appreciate you being here. All fundamentals, that's a fact. XBit, Jackson's, we were right. The company's moving in the right direction. Everybody, oh, they're going to do this. Oh, they're going to do that. Nothing's actually happening. They just launched NFT 8 pictures. No, that's not what happened. They're turning around. Look at the numbers. Look at what they're doing with Web3. Look what they're doing Immutable. Look what they're doing with Loopring. Look where it's all moving. I just like the stock. Hedgy hedge on a ledge. That's pretty funny. Tumble fumble, do a flip. Anyone know why Dearest numbers are late? 1 hour late. Danzo, DFV. That'd be crazy if DFV were here. That'd be freaking legendary. If you are somehow deep value, you're awesome, man. You're just awesome. Yeah, I wonder if we'll see some big volume tomorrow. That'd be pretty exciting. Freshie, what up? Danzo, what up, man? Thank you for being here. More fat cutting next quarters will help the books. I think you're absolutely right, Whiskey. I think that'll continue to happen. That was said on the earnings call by Matt Furlong. He did say, yeah, we're going to continue to cut costs. We've been doing that. You're starting to see it in our numbers, and we'll continue to do that. So you'll continue to see it, is essentially what he said in a nutshell. Thumbs up, folks. That's a fact, Rocco. Everyone drop a like out there. Much appreciated. When 10Q, I'm very curious, Ryan Sunger. I want to see that DRS number. I'm going to literally just keep refreshing this right now. Whoop. So trying to just see the song intro like Morant's Rants, lol. Danzo, I'm glad you say that. GME has 5 days to file 10Q. Oh, okay. Good info right there, Whiskey. I didn't realize that. So that's really interesting. Why are they not doing it right away? Don't they usually do it the same day? That's what it seems like from their previous 10Ks. From what I understand. Huh. Let's see, compared to their 8Qs, but DRS number's still not out. Max Walker, thank you for being here. Not quite yet. That's what I'm looking for right now. Still waiting. So looking at their other 10Qs. Oh, no, they wouldn't do it. It'd be a 10K. Okay, I want to see, do they usually do the 10K the same day as the earnings coming out? Or the 8K? Okay, current reports. But Danzo, to answer your question, I do need an intro song. And like low-key, I'm like, okay, should I ask somebody or like what should I do with it? But I have this crazy idea because my brother is trying to make some beats. And also I'm trying to have him on here soon. And then he's just got to get a creator name going or something. He's got to make me some like background music or I don't know. He's into like making beats and stuff. So I'm like, you got to make me a beat. And I'm going to spit some bars for my own intro. I'm going to make my own intro song. No, I'm not a rapper, but if I'm like the right level of like crossed, like having some fun on the weekend, maybe I could spit a few bars, but that's on the spot. But I could think I can spit a few bars just enough for an intro to make it like a little goofy and just to kind of have my own thing. I think that'd be pretty dope. GME underscore meltdown and shambles. That's a fact, El Mango. I haven't even been on there in forever. I always saw it. I was like, this is a joke, and the fact that it's still going to this day is pretty hilarious. Acquisition maybe. I like that whiskey. I like that. It could be. That would be pretty dope. That would be very, very exciting. Could that be a reason they're waiting? Would it be on there? That'd be pretty dope. Or if it had any kind of relation to it or we hear anything. That'd be big news already after the stocks move today. But yeah, dropping a track intro would be crazy. Tetron drops a track. Oh, Tetron spinning bars, collaborate with Morantz. Yeah, I'll be like, oh, what up? We got Morantz in the house. Tetron in the house. No, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do that right now. I don't have any bars right now on the spot. It's gonna have to be pre-written. I'm gonna be like Eminem in 8 Mile when he's like writing it on the thing. I'll be like on the way to work, like in the car, like when I'm getting a ride, like just what rhymes with orange and glorange and borange and Bed Bath and is not quite cash when GameStop's got the math to be profitable. No, yeah. See, I need a beat at least. I need a beat at least. But again, I also need to probably be under the influence. I mean, not when I do the intro. I'm not gonna do that. But I mean, if I'm gonna off the dome here, guys, I don't know if bars is quite my game. But damn, we got 40 people listening to my bars right now. Appreciate that. Why did AMC go off after hours for no reason? L Point is gonna stop reacting to what GME does. Jellybean 88. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I'm glad you asked that because my personal opinion is people betting against GameStop want to force the association with AMC as much as they can for as long as they can. So anytime GameStop is going up or having any kind of positive news, if you're betting against it, why not just go up and buy a ton of AMC at that moment in time and push the price upwards? So you can create the narrative of, and this is just what I think personally, right? They're both going to squeeze, or look, they're both the same. They move the same when you just look at AMC's chart and it's. And then you can look at Ape, right? That spun off at $10 a share, which was just straight dilution. And now Ape / AMC and Bed Bath are both about to do, reverse splits. So they're both just, unfortunately, not in a great spot, right? So I think it's just a forced association to just force the narrative of they're all the same. So unless somebody really looks at the numbers of Bed Bath, AMC, and then GameStop, you can be like, oh, wait a minute. GameStop is a complete outlier from this group. But I think for as long as possible, the narrative is just going to be pushed. Like, they're all the same. It's the same play. But, hey, that's just how it goes. Damn, look at this shit literally falling off my face. I'm looking like a goon. I just look it over here. Last year, GameStop filed their 8K and 10Q both on March 17th. AMC will go to 0. Ask the real DMZ. I think you meant DMT, Rocco. But honestly, I was thinking too, but I don't know. I kind of want to make my own. I don't know why. I feel like it'd be a little fun, but if it goes horribly, maybe I will. I might have to because he seems like a homie. Spencer says, looking like a goddamn snack. Appreciate that. Thank you. Last year, GameStop filed their 8K and 10Q in the same days. You can ride GME with so many things. That's true. Yeah, hold on. I got to give it another whirl. I just was doing it on the spot. So, damn, 50 people here right now. Respect. I appreciate all you being here. Thank you so much. But, right, DMT has that baggage like, we buy GME to DRS our shares, our destiny. What a banger. You can ride GME with so many things. I don't think BBY will be worse than AMC, but holy crap, man. Yeah. There's a connection. AMC is owned by Apollo. Apollo is owned by Citadel. Citadel is short by GameStop. Hey, XFit said it, not me, but that's what it seems like. Or that's what the breadcrumbs show us, right? GME, DM me, DFV. Me and my fat fingers, LOL. I can spit a verse as well. Okay, Mahari. I'll keep that in mind. All right. Damn. Guess the sun's finally going down out here. Because, yeah, when I started streaming, I had to, like, close this because it was all bright up here. My usual spot's a little occupied right now. A lot of stuff getting moved. AMC influencers falling off a cliff. Even CSI converted thanks to Morantz. Oh, the common sense investor? Damn, I didn't even realize. I know Morantz is really clowning on that guy, and he was just being an absolute goon, but it was crazy. All right, so... All right. GME stock. Only stock for me. Trey, go away. You're gonna lay down on AMC. Goodbye, you go. Common sense investor is kind of whack. I only spit facts, just like my rants. My rants spits rants. I wear pants. Unlike Adam Aaron, that guy's a clown. He's from the ugly town because he's an absolute troun. Boom. All right, guys, there we go. We're getting started. But no beat, straight acapella. What if Citadel buys computer share, Lamongo? That'd be pretty wild. Honestly, I don't think they can because it's a transfer agent, I believe. But you know how rules go these days, right? Right? So I don't know. That would be pretty wild. But you would have to think at that point, GameStop's board is going to take action in some way, shape, or form. At a certain point, if things were to come to that, it'd be like, okay, something has to be done. And I really trust in Ryan Coe and other executives that if something very bizarre like that happened, they would pivot in a way. I don't know exactly, they'd change the transfer agent, whatever, but I think they would make it happen, honestly. But that's just me. It's not something that's going to be shorted to be worried about. Love it. Thank you, Andy. Just getting started. My intro will be better because my brother will make a nice beat. He's pretty nice with it. And then I'll just, I'll rock. I'll put on the earnings goggles and I'll be like, damn, GameStop earnings are good. But yeah, what a time to be alive. What a time to be alive. Let's look at some more numbers here. And just make sure that we didn't get the newest report. 10K, 10K. So yeah, last year, let's see, March 17th in 2022. Yeah, the same day. And it was March 17th, right? Oh, wait, no. Wait. Right here we have March 17, the 8K came out. Okay, last year. The annual filing, yeah, March 17th also. Okay, so then 2021 was March 23rd. Let's see. Do we have March 23rd here? Yeah, the 8K, the current report also. Very interesting. So yeah, the past 2 years it has been the same day. So you would think the 10K is coming, but where is it? So far we only have the 8K. I want the full year annual filing. Let's see. Edward says, oh wait, gotta go back real quick. Anyone know the DRS number? 60%, Edward. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you, Expit. Well done, GME investors. Kingsbury, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. It's quite the ride, and I think it's still going. I really think the party's just getting started, but hey, that's just me. But thanks for being here. Appreciate you very much. Spencer, you missed my rap. Damn, you missed mine. No, I'm just kidding. You probably caught it. But, or what is it? Maybe my chat's not sorted on the side here. Maybe I missed some, but 72 million in October. Damn. Yeah, that was the most recent one, but I want to see what is the latest. What is the latest? Damn, everything going good here? Damn, guys, you guys are awesome. Look at this. Oh, that's crazy. Not everything's popping up here on the side. See, usually I think I just get all the chats because usually there's not as much. Tumble fumble, do a flip. Edgy on a ledgy. Oh, everything's updating on the side here now. That's what it is. This is what we can do. We can do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Boom. Check it out, check it out. Check it out, look at that. Everything getting loaded up there. Then we could move this here. Or, what do we got here? Oh! Yeah, see that thing on the side there, the right, doesn't be loading though. That's the thing. See, I'm still learning OBS, guys. This is all a part of the journey. It's a straight journey out here for Tetron, so thanks for being here. But don't think that'll keep loading. Look up 10Q NT. Good luck. Let me see. Just getting rid of this. Yeah, so the last quarterly filing we could see, and if you guys want to see it, as soon as you pull it up, right? If you want to look for the first number, you just type in Control F, transfer agent. As of October 29th, 2022, 71.8 million shares of our Class A common stock were directly registered with our transfer agent. So the new DRS number about to come out, whenever it does, whenever we get this 10K, or just full filing of the annual report for 2022, it'll be the DRS count as of the end of January 2023. So that won't include any shares that have potentially been DRS'd in February or March. So that is important to keep in mind. That is a lagging number. So it's always based upon the close of the quarter. Everything in this report right here is as of the end of October, because it's the Q3 report I have up right now. This report right now, the most recent one, is like as of January 29th, 28th, for the exact date, but basically the end of January is the last day of the quarter. See, damn, yeah, I can't get, okay, live chat. I do got it. Boom. Okay, we're trying to get there. Hope that keeps updating though, because that's one of the things I feel like this won't be updating on the screen, but it's always unfortunate, but we're just learning here. Because I have to find a way to like keep this in focus. But now I also have double chat. That's like I'm trying to see if it's staying, but we'll see. Test. Just watching in real time. So it did load. Okay. I'm still learning. Still learning, guys. All part of the process. Get rid of that. Make this slightly smaller. So percentage of net sales. That's always good to look at. And let's again look. This is just for quarter. I'd like to see yearly for this. I really like too how they made the layout of this very clean, very simple, nothing crazy. Oh, okay, perfect. They do have the annual one in here. So percentage of net sales for last year, the full year of 2021, which ends at the very beginning of 2022, just like this year ends at the very beginning of 2023. But this is actually for the full year of 2022, and then this is for the full year of 2021. So net sales obviously is 100%. Cost of sales slightly down. You'll love to see that. Gross profit slightly up. Then you have. The only thing I don't like is that you have to like go across and like make sure I have the. Yeah, like that. Okay, so selling and general administrative maintained steady at an equal percentage, but that number did come down because top net sales did decline slightly. But really, where we saw the cut directly for the full year is the cost of sales. And if you look at selling and general administrative costs quarter over quarter, right? If we went back here, percentage, it would go down. See right there. Same with cost of sales. So these numbers are going down, which is I think excellent to see. And yeah, see the live chat's still not updating on the side. Danzo says, so parenthesis always means losses on Q reports. Yes, that's correct, Danzo. It always means negative. It's just like an accounting a form. So if you go on like Microsoft Excel or Google whatever they call it, Sheets, and you put the cell in like accounting mode, and you put a negative number in, it automatically makes it parentheses. So it's just like a standard accounting practice where it makes it it's showing negative. Like they'll never put a minus, just always in parentheses negatives. And this is for the full year, so that's why this is negative if you're looking at this right here. But even year over year, the total net loss is down. But if you look year over year, quarterly, massive difference there, and that's where they talked about the bullet point at the start of this when I was going over it with the 8K, where they said there was a loss of 147.5 million this same quarter in 2021. Now in this same quarter in 2022 Q4 turns out to be a net profit of 48 million. So a huge difference there. That's a $200 million swing. That's a massive swing. And you can see the comparison right here. And that's just, the same quarter year over year. But if you look at the full year over the full year, you can still see the differences on the bottom line ever so slightly. But what I really think is now 2023, like when we get this next one in here on the left, I mean, obviously it always shows that like next year only show this year's info, but I think next year at this time, total net profit for the full year. If you net all 4 quarters together, I think it'll be a net profit, and it'll be the first time in quite a while GameStop's had that. But again, going back to here, um, selling and general administrative costs remain steady as percentage of sales. Cost of sales dropped slightly year over year, but again, the turnaround was still really taking place in 2022. So really 2023, I expect these percentages to come down and again, margins to increase and just cash flow to continue to increase. So what confuses me is the Thinkorswim price loss in parentheses, but in green. If it's a loss, I think Thinkorswim would be in red. I I haven't used Thinkorswim in a minute, so I'm not too sure, Danzo. It might just be maybe for some reason they just put in parentheses like for something else, or like sometimes you like if they'll be like the stock is up like 50%, and then or sorry 50 cents, but then in parentheses it would say like 1% or 2% or whatever. Maybe that's what it is, but I think it depends where you're looking. But really, the year over year we see costs didn't really come down that much, and again, if you look at it more though for the particular quarter, you see it's really starting to happen now because a lot of the turnaround was still taking place. And also, remember, look at these marketable securities. They earn interest on these because marketable securities are government bonds. So those now, you earn like 4.5% interest with the current interest rate environment we're in. Okay, so it is updating on the side. I guess it's just slightly delayed. I don't know, guys. I'm just still figuring all this out. YouTube and like OBS and all that. It's still be boggling in my mind. It really is. I wasn't even gonna start live streaming, and then I don't know. I just saw Morant's streaming, Lightning streaming in terms of GameStop, and I was like, why would I not? I don't know. And that's also kind of what a lot of things are going towards, the live stream vibe. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just do this thing. And you guys have all been great. A lot of you come in here consistently, and just even if you're here for the first time right now, I appreciate you. It's just been a lot of fun just talking about GameStop. But let's look at it right here. This is the current state of the balance sheet that I got zoomed in on. So we got the marketable securities. Inventory is down. So receivables, if you don't know what that is, that just means future money the company's going to receive in payment in some shape or form. And then accounts payable is the inverse of that, something they're going to owe in the future sooner than later. Accrued liabilities and other liabilities. Operating lease liabilities, so that went down year over year. I think that's just closing down some stores or renegotiating because again the company's just operating more efficiently across the board, or so it seems. But the current portion of long-term debt slightly higher year over year, but I believe they did. Oh no, sorry. That's what they paid this year, if I'm not mistaken. I would have to get back to you on that, what that exact line means. But long-term debt did decrease slightly, so they went from 40 million total to 28. But look at that in comparison to their cash, and just look at their cash in terms of their current liabilities as a whole. Their total current liabilities could be almost entirely paid off with their cash, and none of it is like anything that's like, oh, you're gonna owe it tomorrow. But let's see cash flows as well. Net positive on the top. Gain on the sale of digital assets, so that's starting to be digital asset impairments. I got to get reminded what impairments are. Asset impairments. Let's get a quick refresh on that. Stock-based compensation expense. The company's going to continue to compensate shares to people running the company, which I just think is amazing. So we should see hedge funds not short GME due to earnings hope. That's what you'd think, Danzo, but hey, we're going to see what happens. But I think anybody with logic and not with an agenda of some kind can really see it'd be not the best idea to bet against GameStop right now. But again, that's just what I think. Live stream vibes, you know it, XBit, appreciate you. Impairment is a drastic reduction in the recoverable value of a fixed asset. Okay, so that's the value of a fixed asset falling over time. Let's see, when the carrying value of an asset or group of assets, such as an operating segment, is more than its fair value, an asset which the market value is less than the value listed on the owner's balance sheet. Okay, so they're just showing in different spot. Okay, well, if it's going to lose value over time, but it's a very small number. Stock-based compensation, we know that. Merchandise inventories. So that's, I'm not sure if that means on the cash flow. Actually, let's see. Merchandise inventories on cash flow statement. And honestly, I should have Chat GPT up. It'll give me a better answer than this, or like the Bing version, whatever they have. The increase in results in negative. I sell the inventory credits or cash not yet received. Yeah, okay, so I have to dig into that. Merchandise inventory long, no. Yeah, so from what I understand, and just based on like putting 2 to 2 together, what that would be is the company actually, this is the merchandise they're selling, but that wouldn't, I don't know. I have to get a better grasp on that in terms of what it means in accounts receivable, accounts payable. I have some little notes here. You can see, and CBDC, central bank digital currency. I have to keep saying it because I keep forgetting to what the freaking acronym is for the central bank, like digital currency. And now, I mean, obviously, I'm saying you think, oh, the acronym's obvious, but I just kept like forgetting. Like I knew like government dollar, digital dollar, right? But I didn't know exactly. Merchandise inventories. So this is definitely something I want to improve my knowledge on. Of then not depreciation. The fuck was it? Oh, my brain is breaking. Oh, receivables and how they relate to receivables and payables. Gotcha. All right. Live stream vibes. You know what up? Purchases of marketable securities. So they bought more this last quarter. So more government bonds, as you know, rates are going up. Okay, here we go. Proceeds from sale of digital assets. They're starting to make some money. That's not a whole lot, but you know, that's a start. Look at that. Net cash flows used in investing activities. Loss on retirement of debt. They don't have that there. Stock-based compensation. You know, this is for the full year. Again, more than the previous year, which I just think is exciting because as the price is going down, more and more people are accumulating shares as individuals running the company. Digital asset impairments. You know, more write-downs there. Them losing their value. Purchases marketable securities. So they bought a lot now in the past year entirely. I thought in the last quarter, though, I had saw. Is this the previous quarter? I want to see. I thought they had more marketable securities. Oh, no, I was wrong. Why did I think they had like 400 something? 238. And what does this one show us? 276. Okay, so now they have even more because they bought an additional 40 million worth of marketable securities. So they added more of their cash into bonds, which means more cash flow down the line. That's exciting to see. They repaid a little bit of the French loan, but the French loan is literally earning or accumulating less than 2% interest. So that's not even like a big worry at all. They might as well. It actually makes more logical sense to put the money in a government bond and then use the money you're earning there to pay back the lower interest rate, which is your debt. And not often does that happen where you have debt and it's so limited, it doesn't even matter. The company can pay it off like that if they truly wanted. But why would they when that debt is actually carrying a lower interest rate than the free market rate that they're earning in a government bond? Like, what a remarkable position they're in terms of their balance sheet. It's just incredible. And I think that really says a lot about Ryan Cohen and management. And also, I don't know if you remember Ryan Cohen's old tweet. It was something along the lines of low interest rates are like easy sex. Sounds great, but could be fatal. That's not exactly what he said, but it was something of that nature because now, in a rapidly raising interest rate environment, it sucks to have debt. It sucks if you have to raise capital. If you don't have a strong balance sheet, it's tough to operate. And I think that's why we're seeing a lot of growth stocks get beaten down over the past year plus. But, you know, GameStop gets lumped in, or, oh, it's just nine company, or, oh, they're not going to turn a profit. And when you just look at what's going on here, it's just evidently different. Being someone who hasn't de-risked his shares yet, the only thing I'm worried about is forced liquidation if stock goes bonkers. But how would brokers be able to legally do that? They can't. Ready Player 259. First of all, thank you for being here. And that's certainly a valid question. I mean, at the end of the day, you know, I think everyone's got to make their own decision about where they want their shares personally. That's definitely, you know, an important decision to make. And you have to do your research and want to feel comfortable where your shares are at. But I would say this in terms of the brokers, you know, They couldn't do that, right? Why would they? That would be illegal. Nobody thought they'd turn off the buy button. That's all I'm saying. Like, no, I didn't ever think they would just make it where like people just couldn't buy a stock because too many people are buying it at once. Like, that was just unprecedented. And if something unprecedented happens again, who's to say they wouldn't go to even more unprecedented lengths to do things? So who truly knows? I don't know, because at the end of the day, what I do know is if your share is in a broker, it's technically not in your name. It's owned for your benefit, like by the name Seed and Co. So I'll show you real quick why a difference between a regular transfer and like a DRS transfer. See, Ready Player 259. I read my Weeble terms. It sounds pretty much like they have the right to cut extreme risk by selling shares without your full consent. It says, and 30 million a share is extreme risk to them. Sounds risky to me if you don't have that share on your books, right? But what I want to show you guys is transfer. Where is it? Fine, we'll do too many. Charles Schwab transfer form. Okay. So check this out. They all have this. If you check out any transfer form, receiving firm information. All DTC eligible securities, all deliveries must include client name and Schwab account number. Delivered to DTC clearing 0164, Schwab clearing number 0164. So it's through the ACAT system, which is run by the NSCC, National Securities Clearing Corporation, which is an entity of the DTC. So every stock publicly is DTC eligible. So it's all held in the same name of Seed & Co. And let's say I transfer my shares from Schwab. Like if I'm filling out this form, I'm telling Schwab I want to bring my shares to Schwab. It's always the receiving custodian who will open the request. So if I have my shares, let's say E-Trade, like I had up before, then E-Trade would get the request from Schwab and they would follow the Schwab clearing number and they would change the share. They'd have the name, but they would just change the DTC reference number. It would still be in the name of Seed & Co., still in my name, but then the reference number would just change because now it would be at a new brokerage. Whereas if I do a direct transfer, directly register my shares, they have to change the name of Seed & Co. and actually book it into my name as an individual. So that's the difference there. And if you look at any of any of the transfer forms for any of these brokerages, it's all the same. They all have that clearing number. So it all is how it's kept through. The non-established account in the name of Charles Schwab for the benefit of the client. That's because it's Seed & Co. FBO name of the client. So if your shares are in ComputerShare, it's not for the benefit of anybody. It's just in your name. If it's Seed & Co., it's for your benefit, right? It's held on your behalf. It is, right? It is, but is it really? Because it's not truly you that owns it. That's kind of the point I'm trying to make there. But holy, that's crazy. Excuse me. How they hold up in court? I'm with TD Ameritrade and we'll look at their risk protocols. TD is 1.3 trillion in assets. Fidelity is 9 trillion in assets. Transfer to DRS. Expert said it, not me. But I have to read again. But Seed & Co. owns your shares that are not DRS, so it's legal. You are only a beneficial owner. Yeah, by technicalities, you're absolutely right, Denzo. It's that you're the beneficiary. Exactly what you said. Just because it's technically in the name of Seed & Co. So it's remarkable. It is certainly remarkable how this game really works when you really, really dig into it. And those of you who didn't hear before, or that maybe weren't here before, I've talked about this before. Talk about before. But check out this company, Dillard's. It's a great example. I'm not saying go buy Dillard's stock, or I'm not trying to, push other names out there. What I'm saying is look at what Dillard's did in terms of delivering shareholder value. They did regular dividends that they've risen over time slightly. They did 2 special dividends, one at the end of last year and one at the end of the previous year, $15 each, and they started buying back stock. And it's run by a family named Dillard, and it's basically a generally higher end home store, home goods type of thing, but higher end. So from what I understand, I've never actually been to one, but basically they've been buying back stock for a long period of time. They've been delivering value to shareholders through dividends as well. And anybody like that's an executive mostly has the last name Dillard because it's majority run by a family named Dillard. So there's the Dillards. But it's just a great example of shareholder value and how I think GameStop can deliver shareholder value by just operating efficiently. Because Dillard's is not in like massive growth mode or doing anything crazy. That's my point always with this stock is that the company, even without growth, just operating efficiently and having the right people in charge to deliver value over time, you don't even need growth. That can happen if you're operating efficiently and you're putting your cash to good use over time. But what's so exciting about GameStop is I think the growth is there through Web3. Web3 is going to enable that growth. And growth on top of shareholder value being delivered and just excess costs being cut out and improved operations in terms of efficiency over time, with the growth just pushed into all that and individuals choosing to directly register their shares, there's just truly nothing like GameStop, in my opinion. All of those factors, it's just the most perfect storm ever, in my personal opinion. But we'll continue to see what happens. And I think what DRS ultimately does right now, people are like, oh, well, DRS doesn't make the stock go up. Well, no. But if you look at Dillard's stock, right, to compare, it doesn't have a lot of volume. It just simply doesn't have a lot of volume. GameStop did have a lot of volume today. I didn't even realize going in. They had pretty significant volume if that number was right. What, like 10 million? I don't think that includes after hours. I think 10 million more after hours. But look at how the stock trades. Like, look at the general volume. And it's just started to be like a little choppier. I mean, you can't really tell from these charts. That's not the point, though. Look at how low the volume is on Dillard's, and look how it barely moves each day. It's very choppy. It trades very, very choppy. And as more individuals continue to directly register shares, there's just simply less shares changing hands. And for that reason, I think, very simply, GameStop's price can just move more dramatically on less volume. So when the company starts to succeed, it's not even going to be a lot of volume that needs to push the price up a lot. And I think today's great evidence of that. It's not like GameStop themselves has, or direct registration itself has pushed the stock price higher. What's pushed the stock price higher is that individuals like the stock and individuals are choosing to directly register their shares. So maybe some people bought in today, maybe some shorts covered, any just little bit of buying at all. It doesn't even take a lot to move the stock price dramatically because so many shares are just registered. If anybody's taking the time to register shares in their name, chances are they're not going to just sell it on a quick swing, especially to this price, because I'll speak for myself here. I've definitely bought shares in the 20s, in the 30s. You know, this has been a long game for me, a long period of time. So why would I just turn around and sell my shares? And I don't think anybody else is. So not that DRS is guaranteed shareholders, but it's just generally people who are holding, and just generally any kind of buying volume or buying pressure, you won't need a lot of it to move the stock price, just because simply not as many shares are changing hands, especially when not as many shares are in the name of Seed & Co. But that's just what I think there. Dan, so that's crazy. Yep, I have to read it again. Seed & Co's your shares. Yep. Who bought the stocks after hours for the boom? GME. That's a good question, Danzo. That's a good question. We'll have to see over time. You'd have to think it's something or someone somewhere, or there's everything happens for a reason, right? While we truly won't know at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason, and the stock price is what it is, and we'll just continue to see what happens tomorrow. You know, the post market's about to close. There's like 13 minutes left. I still can't believe we didn't get the official 10K yet. I really, really want that updated DRS count. Let's see. Get me back. Yep, 8K is there, but no 10K. No official annual report yet for GameStop. Once we hit 100% DRS, I'll buy more, triggering the rep. Yeah, that'll be crazy, XBit. It will be a wild, wild day as more and more shares get registered. You have to, I just think at a certain point, when people start to understand so many shares are registered, it really, and like what it's doing and how it's making the price move so dramatically just because there's less shares changing hands, I think people might really start to wake up, but we'll see. Because, you know, at the end of the day, shorts don't matter, direct registration doesn't matter unless the company's succeeding. But now what really is exciting is the company seems like they're succeeding. They're really driving forward. And if they can really grow with Web3, it's going to be scary to be betting against the company. That's all I'm saying. I would be really scary in my eyes if I was betting against it, seeing all this happen. I would be a little stressed. That's all I'm saying. So the window of opportunity to close without taking a massive loss if you're potentially heavily short seems to be closing. But, that's all allegedly. So we'll see. But damn, I got to get these glasses off. I'm straight gooning with these today. Oh my God. It's like mad warm in here too. Yeah, once we had 100% DRS, yeah, heck yeah, XBit, Danzo, XBit, Freshmaker, all you guys, everybody here right now, you're all real ones. Appreciate you so much. But what a day! What a earnings report. I mean, I had some pretty high hopes, and I don't know, I just felt it in the air today. Or just the vibe on Twitter, the vibe on the internet of those talking about GameStop. You just feel it. There was like, even if it was not as great as it kind of turned out to be, in my personal opinion, or just see so much of things moving in the right direction, I just feel like nobody would have cared. Like, never, okay, back to holding, back to just whatever. Now everybody's just happy, but everybody's still like not reacting, right? Everybody's reacting emotionally and maybe saying how they feel and whatever. And I'm happy as fuck right now, don't get me wrong. But I'm not like running in like buy, or sell. So nobody's being like irrational, or not that, if you bought or sold right now, you're being irrational, right? I mean, sell, what is that word, right? But my point is, everybody's just excited about the stock, and as a long-term investor, I mean, not everybody is, right? I mean, everybody is themselves as an individual. I really try and preach that because I think it's important. But generally speaking, people in GameStop at this point are in it for the long term. Nobody's just trading it in terms of like, oh yeah, like as soon as it just gets back to where at, I'm selling. I mean, it just doesn't. It simply does not seem like that as a whole. Of course, there's always going to be individuals out there, and everybody's doing what they want at the end of the day. But if you're in it for this long at this point, you'd have to think it's about the long term. So we'll just continue to see what happens with future earnings. So I feel like nobody would have been rattled, honestly, even if things like didn't look that great, or maybe just were still kind of moving sideways, turnaround still taking place. But this is a huge step in the right direction, and that's why you just feel the energy. I don't know. You really think they're not scared of us? XVIT, I think they're shaking in their boots. They're and Deb, I realize chat is not updating again, but we're chilling, we're learning again. Damn, thank you all so much for being here. I'm gonna have to wrap this up soon because I do gotta take care of some other things tonight, but got the whole gang here. Cheers, Abe. Might have to have a beer tonight to celebrate. Just the good vibes. I love that they're correct. That they are. What up, family? Abe, appreciate you, man. Thank you for being here. Raider Bo, what up? Thank you for being here. Everyone's cheersing. 120.75 is the price to beat. Once this thing makes new highs, watch out. 120K. Hey, I mean, not a bad idea. Xbit could be going there, but yeah, no, I know what you're saying, Movier, in the sense that people will see it and be like, "Oh my God, this thing is higher than last time. What is going on here? I thought GameStop was dead, right?" And all these different things. So that'll certainly be interesting to see when people get that Yahoo Finance notification of, "Oh, GameStop hits a new all-time high." They're gonna be like, "What?" But then again, those people that are downing it probably don't have GameStop on their watch list, so it doesn't even matter. But Snacks, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. But yeah, look at all this transformation costs. It's other. I wonder what they can technically consider that to be. Where is it? 1 and 3. Current year impacts the impact of cash severance costs, partially offset by stock-based compensation forfeits related to workforce optimization efforts in order to connect with our transformation incentives. Prior year includes cash severance and stock-based compensation costs for personnel. Separate from the company, expense consultants, advisors related to transformation. Prior year amount related to cash severance and stock-based have been reclassified to confirm the current year presentation. Okay, so maybe some people that were in it or that were laid off, unfortunately, their stock-based compensation being removed. I guess that's what that small number is right there. I'm not too sure. But this is the most beautiful thing. So wonderful. Profitability. Operating, positive. Net income, positive. EPS, positive. Free cash flow, positive. Absolutely love to see it. and stock-based compensation. You gotta love it. You just gotta love it because people running the company are shareholders themselves, and you just can't go wrong with that. Because I mean, you can if they don't care about the company, but when you have your money or part of your paycheck in something, what you're doing, and you have control, why would you not try and positively influence it in the best way? And it just really will build the connection stronger and stronger over time between the shareholders and just people running the company. Because again, I've said it a gazillion times, and many other people have said it before, that they themselves are shareholders. So that it just makes sense for them to deliver value. And when you see these other companies out there making all these promises and saying all this, and they're going to do all that, and then they're going to launch popcorn and do a reverse split, and then that same guy turns around and sells shares. Oh, I'm retiring. I'm retiring. That's why. Okay, yeah. If you were retiring, I mean, that's just bullshit. It's just bullshit, right? There's no other way to put it. You don't sell shares if you think there's the quote. There's a multitude of reasons an executive or CEO, and I'm not saying the exact quote, and I think it's Peter Lynch. I could be wrong, but multiple reasons why an executive or CEO would sell shares, but there's only one reason they buy. They think the price will go up. And the most badass thing, or one of the best parts about this saga, in my personal opinion, or best moments rather, was around this time last year in 2022. GameStop's price was going down a lot. It was the lowest it had been in a while. And then Ryan Cohen tweeted, "I put my money where my mouth is." And then the next day, the filing came out, or like that, those after hours, something like that, basically showing he bought more. He increased his position. And that same week, Larry Chang added shares, and I think it was Atal Allen. I could be wrong. But 3 out of 6 board members, including chairman of the board himself, Ryan Cohen, all added shares in that 1 week. And since then, there's been no executive sales, no insider sales. So they like the stock. That's encouraging because they themselves are working there this whole time and building everything there. And we're seeing the numbers now. We're seeing the evidence of the effort they're putting in my eyes. But let's go. Let's bring on 9 a.m. Let's make it 9 a.m. tomorrow already. Let's skip this bullshit nighttime, The after hours is about to close. No, I'm just playing. But for real, no matter what happens tomorrow, there's going to be volatility, undoubtedly. There's going to be narratives. We're still waiting on the official 10K, which gives the DRS count, which I think will be exciting. But whatever it is, me personally, I'm just going to stick to the long term and focusing on that. But it's still crazy to think GameStop up like 50% right now. Like 50%. We haven't had a single day move like this in a really, really long time. Of course, we'll see where it opens tomorrow. We'll see how tomorrow plays out. We'll see how the next couple weeks play out. We'll see how Gmerica plays out. There's still so much to play out. At the end of the day, this is just one individual day, one moment in time. But I really feel like this is like a historic, pivotal day where the company reported positive net income, positive EPS, everything moving in the direction that they've been talking about. And it's really validating their stance, in my opinion, of we're not going to give you an outlook. We're just going to just watch us. Just watch what we're about to do. Just read. Just look at the numbers. Just look at what we're doing. That's all we got. See, investor don't. See what's up. And I love that swag that they have, that they're like, you know what? We're not going to tell you what we're going to do. Just watch. And we're going to just work hard. We're going to put in the effort. And thank you to our shareholders. Thank you to our customers, employees, all that. Watch what we're going to do. That's been their mentality. And look at what they're doing. Look at the numbers. Do you see these numbers with AMC? Do you see these numbers with Bed Bath? Do you see these numbers with any of the meme stocks that are forced in association to be, oh, they're all the same, or oh, they all squeeze, or it's just squeezing, squeeze, right? I'm a squeegee. No, it's about the company. It's about the company. And this is evidence that GameStop is just not like the rest. It's just not. It's just simply not. And that's just my opinion. You can disagree. And I'm not trying to shit anybody on any other play or any other stock. And I do wish you the best. But GameStop is just simply not the same. And to be constantly lumped in with these other names, it's just why so many people have the negative overall sentiment and look at it. And at the end of the day, narratives are going to be narratives and stories are going to be told, right? But that's fine. I'm just going to keep spinning it as I see it. And how I see it is GameStop is not like the rest. What you're seeing happen right now with their earnings, everybody said wouldn't happen. There's no way. There's probably people in your life who told you, oh, you're crazy. Or, oh, GameStop doesn't make money. This or that. Check the numbers. Numbers don't lie. And I said it before and I'll say it again. Q1 falls off a little. Q2 falls off a little. So be it. It's they're moving in the right direction. And as long as something dramatic doesn't happen, like a massive rise in costs, right? Or something completely going against the commentary of what they've been discussing and everything they're moving towards. If that doesn't happen, then who cares if EPS is slightly negative? Who cares if free cash flow is slightly negative for one quarter? Or just a slight like fall off, whatever. As long as they're still moving in that general direction, it's about the long term. It really, really is. And even the S&P requirement, which I had pulled up before on the screen, it's for the most recent quarter has to be net positive, but the past four have to be combined net positive. So even if, let's say, Q1 is slightly negative, Q2 break even, Q3, Q4 profit and stronger in profit and beyond from there, that's still net positive for the full year of 2023. I still think that's absolutely on the table. But I think the company's just going to continue to go step by step and brick by brick. And we're literally watching in real time. And that's part of what this channel is, just documenting everything happening. And all the people that said, oh, GameStop can't go up, GameStop can't do this, or you're crazy, this or that. Just watch me. I'm like GameStop, baby. Just watch. Just watch. I'm not going to give you any, oh, I'm going to do this, oh, I'm going to do that. But just watch. Just watch. That's what I tell people about GameStop. Seriously now. They're like, oh, why are you investing in it? Or, oh, they're still losing money. Or if I just say, just keep an eye on it. I'm telling you, I'm still buying it. I still like it. And I'm just saying, just keep an eye on it. So, is it time to move stuff? Oh. Yeah, I do have to move some things soon around the house, but I gotta check chat real quick. Not quite yet. Is it time? Not yet? Alright, word. Dude, we got the broski in here. He's gonna hop on the stream soon. He's gotta. But explain how GameStop goes from 17 to 25. Someone covered. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense, XBit. I mean, somebody's running for the door, right? You'd have to think in some shape or form. I'm looking for the party. Abe, you found it, man. You found it. It's party time, baby. I still don't understand how IMX relates to NFT. IMX built the GameStop wallet. That's correct, XBit. From $5.38 billion market cap to $8 billion is so sexy. That's a fact, YBA. It's super exciting, step by step. Did DRS numbers come out? Not quite yet, Abe. Still refreshing. Still waiting to see for that 10K. That full annual report. We only have the current report, see the quarterly filing, and now we should have the annual filing, but it just simply is not there yet, so I'll keep refreshing, looking for that. Definitely keep an eye out tonight. IMX are some really good clean programs over there, very clean. Oh yeah, Tetron Rant, you know what's up. I didn't realize how big of a fucking loser GME holders are. Majestic. Thank you for being here. I think it's pretty funny. You have nothing better to do but then come talk shit. So that's all right though. You have yourself a good night out there. But so anyway, you're probably short. You're like, my shares are going up. Whatever. That's okay though. You do you, Majestic. But to go back to not XBit, what Danzo said. So essentially, yeah. IMX is onboarding a lot of games and helping them get involved in Web3 and digitalize their assets within the game. And then basically, yeah, what XBit said, IMX essentially helped build the GameStop wallet and it provides the underlying infrastructure. And basically, then the underlying infrastructure has the digital collectibles that can be carried from game to game. And you can have the same character jumping from game to game. But AMC has 0 shorts. That's true, XFit. That's true. I have lots of people, lots to do. I popped in. I'm a CEO. See you later. Farewell. But I don't know. Bring on the hate, baby. Bring it on. I love it. I'll just keep talking about GameStop because I love GameStop as much as I love the hate. But AMC shorted its own company. Yeah, AMC is. It's just unfortunate. And, it's funny. As a young individual, I'll tell you guys this. And clown. That's a fact. Fresh Maker, he's a clown. I'll tell you this. As a young individual out there, right, I definitely party. I'm not gonna lie to you. I like to go out on the weekend. I like to drink with the homies, drink with the friends, drink with whoever. Right? I don't go that crazy. Like I'm not a fucking alcoholic or anything like that. But I talk to people, and of course, you start buzzing, and like you talk about what do you think I talk about? Start talking about GameStop randomly, right? To people that have any interest in stocks, and they'll usually be like, "Wow, pretty interesting." But what happens a lot is people are like, "Oh, well, what about AMC?" And I'm like, "Oh." And then usually if I'm with anybody I know, they'll go, "Oh boy, you shouldn't have said that." Or like, "Oh, you don't know what you just started. You just what do they call it? Fuck. What's the expression? Open a can of worms. You just opened a can of worms with this guy saying, "Oh, what do you think about it?" And then I'll be like, "Listen, you wanna know what I think about AMC? You wanna know what I think about AMC?" That funny, but yeah, AMC is just a straight clown show, and it is unfortunate because what I was getting at is young investors are just, oh, well, there's a lot of social trend behind it, and I saw what happened with GameStop, and I've seen what's happening, what could have happened in the past. It could happen again, but they're just getting involved in things, and they don't understand simple things like shares outstanding, dilution, um, poor management, and the company not really doing anything. They're like, oh, there's popcorns. Oh, there's a I watched the movie NFT, or I'm an AMC shareholder NFT, but is that doing anything for the company and the improvement of it over time? You tell me. You tell me. But that's simply the difference between GameStop and AMC. And Adam Aaron has been out there, choke on that, yeah. And he's always saying like all this like baloney and like quoting like what does he quote, like Winston Churchill? Or I don't even know who he quotes. Like someone was saying it today. I heard them say it. He's just saying like stupid shit. But what was Ryan Cohen tweet? I put my money where his mouth is. I put my money where my mouth is and buy shares. When's the last time Adam Aaron bought shares? When's the last time an AMC board member bought shares? I heard even the company that was like helping them raise capital turn around and like sold the shares, like Entera or whatever. It's crazy. It's just crazy. And it's a fact, Ape M. Popcorn is trash. And you know what's funny? Um, popcorn, or not popcorn, AMC. It was funny, like not too long ago, my girlfriend was like, "Hey, we should go see a movie, but we don't have to go to an AMC theater. Don't worry." That was literally her pitch to me. I'm like, "Hey, I want to go see a movie, but we don't have to go to AMC. Don't worry. I know how you feel about AMC." So she literally was like, "We could go to a local theater. We don't have to go to an AMC." And I was like, "Okay." Okay, we can go see a movie. I got you. So I just think it's pretty funny. Everybody knows how I feel about AMC. And then also, I love when people say, like, oh, that I don't know them. Or they're like, oh, Noah's a GameStop shareholder. Because a lot of times people don't preface it or they don't realize. They think I'm just in it just because. But then I start talking about, like, oh, this guy, like, actually knows what he's talking about. I'm like, thank you. I mean, I'd like to think so. I'm not, like, a genius. But I'm just saying, like, it's not just a social hype thing. It's not just buy and hold and hope for the best. Maybe we'll see. But I just see what the company's doing, and I'll keep reading what they're doing, and I'll keep understanding it more. Right? I don't understand everything, and that's part of the journey of his channel. But yeah, Jellybean88 says Lightning says Ian's selling to a single share, totaling 20 million per share. LOL. Jellybean, hey, I mean, for me, what I'm really looking for, I don't even think about selling right now. When the point comes where I feel like I can genuinely change my life in a massive, massive way, I'm going to consider it. But what I would really, really love is down the line dividends. And I think that would just be a great way for value to be delivered. And why would I want to sell if the company continues to use their cash in an efficient way and continue to, buy back shares, deliver dividends, do future stock splits, things like that, that just accumulate shareholder value brick by brick, little bit over time. Maybe I never have to sell, right? And I used to think, what does that mean? Like never selling, or why do people say that? If the company's delivering value through things such as dividends, and it could be more than dividends, right? But if dividends are just one aspect of it, you're literally having something you're earning from this asset. And if you look at their balance sheet, 1.3 billion, close to 1.4 billion in cash right now. They did a $1 dividend per share. They have 300 million shares outstanding. They'd still have like $1 billion in cash. I don't think they should do that, but imagine betting against the stock and what a $1 one-time special dividend would do for you or do to you. So, but yeah, it's crazy. How your girlfriend's funny. Thank you, Danza. Yeah, she's pretty awesome. Shout out to her. They just need 7 billion to catch up. Yeah, it's facts, Abe. Just something like that, right? Just a $7 billion funding round for AMC. No big deal, and they'll probably just burn through it all anyway. AMC is a bit of a drive, so waste and effort. And except for Transformers, there's no other movies that seem good. Yeah, honestly, I'm not even like a big movie goer in general, or even movie watcher. Like, mostly I'm a YouTube guy. Like, I love watching YouTube, and like, I get it when Mr. Beast says he's like, I always just watch like random YouTube videos and shit like that, like in his interviews and stuff, and like how he said he doesn't really into shows. He's always super into YouTube. Shout out to Mr. Beast. That guy's awesome. And to anybody, this is a random rant, but I want to go on it. The fact that people are hating on Mr. Beast is just ridiculous. Like, give me a fucking break. Tell me someone else who's done what he's done at his age. The dude's like my age. He's like 20, he's like 22, right? 23. And he literally is doing so much good, and how he can do that is from making videos, and people are like, oh, well, if he really means it, he should do it without the cameras on. Fuck that! He's doing it so he can make more money to do some more good, because that's what he's all about. And so what? Maybe he keeps a little bit for himself, which, by the way, I don't even think he does really. He just reinvests it all in there. Who cares? What are you doing? What are these motherfuckers that are typing that shit out doing with their lives? What are they doing for the world? You know what I mean? I can't stand the hate on Mr. Beast. I personally love Mr. Beast, and I just think he's awesome, and like who he is, like what he does, everything about him. I personally really like him. But even if you don't like him, you can't sit there and tell me this guy is it's bad what he's doing, or oh, he helped people see, he helped kids go to school by giving them Give me a fucking break. You're gonna try and shit talk that? Go shit talk AMC or something else. Like, I had to get that off my chest. I don't know. I was seeing that, and I saw it again recently. I was like, they're coming at this. They trying to cancel this guy. Give me a break, Mister. There was the funny memes. Mr. Beast should be like, his next video should be like, all right, fuck you guys. I bought a private island for myself, and I'm spending all my money on my own. I mean, nah, he wouldn't do that. That's not how he is. But it'd be funny, and then people would be like, oh, wait a minute, maybe he is doing good. Maybe I shouldn't be like, stupidness. But whatever. Random rant there. No debt other than low interest unsecured loan associated with the French government response to COVID-19. That's fact, Abe. That's facts. And it's literally such a low amount. And they even paid back some of it right here. If you see repayment of French loan, slight repayment, just a small amount, but the amount of the debt, where is it? Long-term debt right here is actually just so small anyway. So, but yeah, you're missing four more zeros, fresh maker. Yeah, it's facts. Where am I advocating? Jelly Bean, how many shares of AMC do you have? Damn, XFIG going at it in the chat. Mr. Beast is a very generous man, some good ideas, and post-Moas giving. Exactly, Tetron. People think it's bad to put the cameras on when you give, but he is inspiring people to give. Exactly, Danzo. And I understand the perspective of like, it's not, but he's not like I don't know how to describe it. I understand there's a certain side of things. Like if you want to do good, maybe it's not the type of thing you should do on camera. Like maybe someone doesn't want to be on camera, but everybody in those videos wants to. They're happy to be in the video. They're like, this is great. Thank you, Mr. Beast. Like yeah, we want to be in the video. It's not like they're being forced against their will or something like that. It's just such a crazy idea the way people are out there. But it's facts, Danzo. You're spitting facts. I'm confused. When did I mention AMC? GME, Morant's 2.0. Dude, Morant's, I mean, you guys are all, everyone's out there is like, yo, you got to get more intense. You got to get more, I don't know. I try to drink coffee between the streams now to try and get fired up, but I don't know. I just do me, but dude, I like these little rants. They're fun, so appreciate you all being here. And Marantz is the GOAT. He really is teaching me a lot about YouTube and just how to research things. He really is a really, really smart guy. You guys might think like, oh, you were just like kissing up to him because he shouts you out or something like that. But no, like I genuinely watch his stuff and I genuinely learn from his live streams, his videos, and just how he like approaches things. And that guy grinds, man. I don't know if you guys know, he works a lot and like he puts I'm sure most of you know. A lot of you know. Who doesn't know Morantz, right? But this man grinds. He like never sleeps. So I just respect that so much, and it's inspiring, honestly, to see someone doing something else on like doing YouTube also in a similar I mean, I'm not trying to say the same, but I mean, he also he likes GameStop. I like GameStop, and seeing how much effort he's put in, I'm like, damn. If he can do it, I can do it. If he can do it, I can do it, type of thing. So, I don't know. But Morantz is awesome. I can't say that enough. Remember when Mr. Beast bought out an entire GameStop store? I remember. YBA, yo, I forgot about that. That's a great point. Mr. Beast, GameStop. Let's go on YouTube. Mr. Beast. Oh, Mr. Beast. Let's see what comes up. Mr. Beast, GameStop. All right, whatever. I don't want to actually play the video anyway. So, but that was awesome. I do remember that, and that probably helped revenue at that time. I mean, that was still during the turnaround, so that definitely helped revenue, I would imagine, and margins for a little bit that one quarter. But thoughts on tomorrow? 420 Bonk Smoke. Nice name. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. I think tomorrow brings a lot of volatility. Honestly, I could see it being volatile and then maybe just closing the day up like 30%. That's a completely random number out of my ass, to be completely honest with you. But one thing I will say I definitely expect is volatility. Absolutely going to be volatility, because I think the result of DRS is just less shares trading hands, or it doesn't take as many shares trading hands to move the price as dramatically, just because it's less shares out of the name of Seed & Co., less shares just trading hands because registers are long in the stock, buying and holding them. I mean, generally, if anybody's going to register their shares, they're just buying and holding, they're not trading, because transfer agents aren't really meant for that. So, having said that, I think it won't take a lot of volume will be there tomorrow relative to the volume we've had lately, and it won't take a lot of volume to move the stock a lot. So even just a little volume can move the stock a lot. So if we have a lot of volume, I expect a lot of volatility. But I could see the stock, closing anywhere from like up 25 to like up 75 to only up 10% to freaking doubling. I mean, I feel like we're in a world where, or in a state where anything could happen. I feel like, the same thing could happen that's always going to happen, where it just kind of bleeds off the next day. But at the same time, part of me thinks, well, they're evidently profitable. It's in the numbers. They're out there now. So maybe that really is the difference maker, and we'll have a big run going into the next day. But at the end of the day, I'm just happy personally that I was accumulating shares during these past couple months, like especially as 2023 started. Um, yeah, if you bought any shares at any point in 2023, you're in great shape. Because what was the highest here? Yeah, probably around, I don't even think it got to this price point at this peak here. It might have touched the peak here as well. I really got to get my like TD Ameritrade or something going, so I'm going to have like legit charts on the screen for you guys in a future stream. But it's crazy. It's crazy. Everything happening. Good, thank God. I hate AMC. Welcome, Jellybean. An emergency terrible CEO does not run a company. Jellybean, you're chilling. You've passed the test. No, I'm just kidding. But nah, it's all good. It's all chilling here. We're all good. But damn, what a time to be alive. And this is kind of an I told you so, but it's still like there's more to come. And I just like the stock. I just like the stock. I love that line. As for me, I like the stock. I think that'll be a moment that goes down in history. I think it already has gone down in history, and it's still referenced to this day. So I feel like that's what makes it kind of a part of history, is that, as for me, I like the stock. Stock price like re-exploded at that time. I always thought that was funny. But what a ride it's been. What a ride it's going to continue to be. Where on earth is this 10K? I want to see it. I'm really, really jacked for the 10K and the DRS count. I want to see it. GME 10K. It's still not here. It is still not here. Very unfortunate. But yeah, look, the company hasn't announced. They announced literally nothing officially. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Subscribe to the newsletter if you haven't. Where do you do that? Newsletter. So if you put your email in, oh, don't look at those. Just kidding. You can email me. I don't care. But, and also Tetron Invest Relations, if you ever want to send me anything, that's just kind of the email I monitor. But regardless, you put your email in. I already get the updates, so I'm not going to do it again. But basically, you'll get updates when there's an SEC filing or anything the company comes out with. And it's always good to get it from the source, because as we've seen with GameStop, the story is always twisted. There's always a narrative to tell. So I feel like you got to get it from the horse's mouth, right? Is that the expression? Or you got to get it from the source itself? And this is the newsroom. There's nothing announced between Q3. I mean, the Q4 date was announced and the actual Q4 earnings. So nothing actually happened throughout Q4. There's been no updated announcement. And then in Q3, we saw two different things. The partnership with FTX, which quickly fell apart. And I low-key think, tinfoil hat here, alleged thoughts, that GameStop partnered with FTX because they see something fishy with the tokenized stocks and just wanted to put attention on it and just wanted to, because they have to know the passionate group of shareholders that look into every little detail, right? So many individuals out there looking at so many little different tiny things. So if they were going to partnership with the FTX, I'm sure they knew that there's going to be tons of individuals digging into every little detail. What does it mean? What is FTX? Why did GameStop partner with FTX? This and that. And shortly thereafter, we saw what happened with FTX. I think that's kind of interesting. I mean, it's not necessarily because GameStop partnered with them it's definitely not because GameStop partnered with them that the whole thing blew up. The whole thing blew up is because CZ caused like a bank run, but also it was revealed like it was bound to blow up at some point. Look at how they were doing everything. They're doing everything. It was like, hey, can I get lunch? Yeah, sure. Like I saw an interview of some girl that used to work there, and she basically said she had like $100 of DoorDash to use per day or something. Like, how do you even use that? You have to get like 2 full ass meals ordered from far away. Like that's insane. Getting that kind of credit. Um, but we lost 50 million on the FTX deal. Damn, Raider bro, I didn't even realize that actually. That's unfortunate. But I feel like it was to shine light. I don't know. But at the same time, if it meant losing money, and is it worth shining light? So maybe it was just an unforeseen thing. But at the end of the day, the company's still good where they're at now. And then the other recent announcement was obviously the launch of the actual NFT marketplace. So, and then when did the wallet come out on iOS? Maybe it was after the marketplace. I can't remember exactly, but that wasn't like too big of news, or it wasn't deemed worthy enough, or they made like news of it. But really, I think the next big announcement we're going to see here in the newsroom, what I'm kind of getting at, yeah, this is when they actually launched the marketplace. They changed the CFO. This is when they did the stock dividend. So this is when they launched the actual wallet. I think the next headline is going to be GameStop launches Gmerica, a new place to game, something like that. And I think that's going to be really, really exciting. Whatever Gmerica is, it feels like it's close. Gmerica's got to be almost here, but I really, really think that could get launched this quarter. At least to start to it, we could at least get some understanding of what it is, because just knowing how GameStop is, they're not going to be like, oh, Gmerica's going to launch this date, wait and see, do the countdown or something like that. They're going to be like, nope, here's Gmerica, check it out, and then it's just going to be there. Maybe it'll be like a simple version, just like when the NFT marketplace launched, it was simple and didn't have a whole lot. It was just the initial creators and whatnot. But over time, more is being added, more has been added, more will continue to be added. Gmerica maybe is a similar type of deal. And I've said it before, I'll say it again, maybe Gmerica is something tying everything together. GameStop's e-commerce operations, Web3, everything they're doing with the NFT marketplace, the wallet, developing games maybe in some way. I don't know. There's so many different like thoughts I have on it, and I'm just starting to get burned out. My brain is starting to feel like scrambled eggs. So I think I am going to have to wrap it up here. But damn, what a day. What a day. Put my earning goggles back on. XBit, we lost money because of you? Damn, bro. SMH, I'm sorry. I'm sorry to hear that, but what a day. I mean, it's literally doesn't mean shit, right? Because 1, anything could happen tomorrow. 2, it's all about the long term. And 3, we'll just see what happens, right? I mean, that's kind of all the same thing. But my point is that there's no celebration right now. I'm not selling anything, so it's not like I cashed in this profit or something like that. I'm just buying and holding. So there's really like nothing to celebrate right now. I mean, could be happy as fuck, but it's not like a celebration. I guess I want to put it that way. So I raise my hands in happiness, but not in celebration. I'll put it to you that way. So I think I'll leave it there for today. And also a quick final point, though, I will say, keep an eye on the marketable securities continuing to go up. So we saw them put more cash in marketable securities. And as interest rates go up, they'll continue to accumulate more cash through buying more marketable securities at higher rates. And a company with no debt that's extremely helpful for free cash flow. So I just think the company's very, very well positioned to thrive despite it being a tough economy as a whole. And I don't really think they'll have to close other stores at this moment in time based on what I'm seeing here or cut more employees. Maybe if they absolutely have to, so be it. But look at what Amazon's doing. Look at what Meta's doing. Massive layoffs, massive, massive adjustments at these other large companies that were in super growth mode. GameStop can emerge into growth mode and push growth without actually putting themselves in debt in any way because of the strength of their balance sheet and because of cutting excess costs, which we're seeing in this earnings report right here, and I believe we'll continue to see in future earnings reports. And yeah, that's the summary of it, I think. But Freshmaker, great point right there. FOMC results tomorrow. I heard that, or I read something, I don't know, just random tweets, so it could mean literally nothing, but interest rates are expected to be risen now tomorrow. I thought it was priced in that they're going to be cut. People talking about it staying even. Now people are talking about a hike for 0.25. I mean, all I'm going to say is the European Central Bank hiked rates by 0.5% last Thursday when the whole Credit Suisse trouble started beginning, and when there was a 50 billion in liquidity announced to be provided, or 50 billion Swiss francs, which is more like 55-ish billion of US dollars, was going to be provided by the Swiss National Bank to Credit Suisse to just bolster the liquidity as a whole. And that's, like before UBS came in, and then Credit Suisse offered like another 100 billion more, and the Swiss government also guaranteed another 100 billion if necessary. So 250 billion US dollars, even more Swiss francs, like when you convert it, all just pushed into keeping Credit Suisse afloat, keeping, more money, and UBS, the combined now UBS and Credit Suisse that's being finalized, and whatever's happening there. But even as that was all beginning, Europe raised rates. They're like, okay, well, if the banks are going to do whatever, then we're going to raise rates because we got to keep, fighting against inflation. And now's the time, since, okay, we know they're good for the moment of, at least. But you'd have to think if things start to get really ugly, they're going to cut rates. But remember, the Federal Reserve is supposed to be non-political, right? It's supposed to be independent. But, I mean, if it's truly independent, would we be where we are with monetary policy abused for so long? Like, would we? I don't think so, but that's just what I think. So I also wonder, is Jerome Powell the fall guy, or is he just there to take the blame, take the heat? Because if he raises rates again, he's going to get a lot of pressure, I'm sure, politically and just across the board, because it's going to put more pressure on banks. Because the whole thing is, and again, I'm learning a lot about banks, so I'm not an expert here, but if people start pulling their deposits from a bank, that bank is going to turn around and sell, for example, its government bonds. And if interest rates are rising, those old bonds they have paying maybe 2 or 3% interest when the interest rate's like 4 or 5% now, nobody's going to buy those if they need to go turn around and sell them for some quick cash because customers are pulling deposits. So now they have to sell them at a loss below their face value. So they're being sold at a loss, and then those are losses on their books that get realized. And then when they're realized, it's like, oh, wait a minute, this bank's not in great financial standing, because when people pull their deposits, it forces unrealized losses to become realized losses. And when I realized, I'm like, oh, that's why a bank runs very dangerous right now, because so many of these banks have bad assets, and part of it is poor management, but also part of it is because the face value of these securities they're buying, right, these marketable securities, as we see GameStop having it, for them, they don't have like any cash because the reserve ratio is 0%. They can do whatever they want with the cash. They can do whatever they want with customer deposits. So, I mean, this is a whole conversation itself. I can go on and on about it, but god damn. Check chat one more time. Ryan Cohen and I have secret conversations. I make mistakes. I'm sorry. I'm human. Expert. Get me in on those secret combos. No, I'm just playing, but take care, Tetron, and everyone. Kingsbury, I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. GME Stock says we did it, bro. Super happy. GME stock, you know what's up. I mean, it's an exciting time to be alive. That is for sure. Because at the end of the day, the company's turning a profit and moving in the right direction. And a lot of people go, oh, the company's never going to turn a profit. They're not going to do this. They're not going to do that. They're doing it. They're doing it. And I think they'll keep moving in the right direction. So I'm happy. But, at the end of the day, focus on long term. I'm happy but not celebrating. That's what I'm going to keep saying. Earnings of GameStop is on the front page of Reddit. God, tomorrow's gonna be crazy. Well, IBA, I mean, hey, FOMO can come in at any time, in any shape or form, one way or another. So I think we'll see that, but I am going to wrap it up. FOMC pivots, stock's going to take off. We'll see, Stack. We'll see, but we'll definitely stay tuned tomorrow. And yeah, thank you all so much. And I'll be looking for that 10K. I'm going to tweet about it as soon as I see it. So keep an eye out for the 10K, everyone. And then I'll have the official DRS count, as well as some more important details in terms of the company's just annual full report. There'll be even more details than there is in the 10Q, or sorry, the 8K rather. But all right, guys, I'm burnt out. I got to go. I got to take care of some stuff. I hope everyone has a good night. Take care. Thanks for being here.